You guys need to mute. Okay, hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm in the middle of doing a test run of the live stream. This is not going to be Ryan Hall level stuff here, but we're going to have the ability to go through some of these storms that are coming in, which you can see a tremendous amount of severe weather along this line, at least severe warned storms. There are no current tornado warnings, but we're going to continue to follow that today. There is a current severe thunderstorm watch in effect for much of the area, and I'll show you that here in a second. And let me just make sure real quick before I get into this. Give me a second here. I don't know where it went. Give me 1 second. I just want to check something real quick while everybody's jumping on and give some time for some people to get on the live stream. Just give me a second here. Make sure this is going. And okay, so right here. Okay, so we said everybody, there's an echo. Okay, all right. Never mind, I have two tabs open. Okay, sounds great. So last time when we did these, we did the live streams, we had a problem with the audio. I think I corrected that this time, so I'm going to get off of this and go back to where we were before. And okay, so what we're going to have is the some students from the Millersville meteorology department that are chasing. They're chasing in two separate cars. And you see to the left of me that are up in the top, this was what took so long. I wanted to have the storm chasing or the live stream going during the 3 o'clock hour. It's a little bit late because I was trying to integrate this stream that they're doing. So they're both heading currently west from Millersville, which is in the Lancaster area. And they're moving toward the Harrisburg area, which is a good place to be. So they are currently moving toward that area. I don't have an exact pinpoint of where their location is, but I will have that, and they'll be able to interact with me here on the stream. So we do have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings indicated along this line moving across central Pennsylvania. There are no current tornado warnings, but there is the possibility today that we could have a spin up along this line. So we're going to watch these very closely as they move in. By the way, the radar... this is one of the three radars I'm going to be using. This is the Radar Omega that you see Ryan Hall use in his streams. There's a lot of different things we can do with this. There's also the Radar Scope app here, which gives a little bit better, when I go over to a wind velocity radar, it gives a little bit of a better look at that to see if there's any twisting in it, and right now this looks pretty linear to me. So these severe thunderstorm warnings do have some pretty strong gusts associated with them, and that's why they're issuing these warnings out ahead of it. And this will eventually make its way eastward. One other thing I want to, before I go any further, I want to make sure you understand that this is a live stream, not like we have in the winter where I can interact a lot more. So it's going to be just like Ryan does, and there's a reason he does it that way, because he doesn't have time to read the comments all the time until things settle down. So we're just going to be going over each one of these storms. We're going to show the projected paths, what to expect for the areas that it's going to be heading. And we're also going to have an additional radar, which if we have any kind of rotation that's detected, we have the GR level 2. Okay, so in this scenario, I can go into these storms, zoom in here, and we can do cross sections of the storm and do a volume analysis. So if I want to take a look at this right here and see if there's any rotation in that, we can certainly look at that. Right now, there's a little bit, not much, but there is some weak rotation aloft here with some of these, but not enough to produce any tornado warnings. Now, the colors here are going to be in red on the GR2. Instead, I could have made that something different, but I chose not to. And shame on me for not doing that. But I will have that. These are all the kinks we're going to work out here going into the future. So this is not going to be as fluid as what Ryan Hall does, but I'm going to be hope to give you the best information I can in the same manner he does it. Okay, because that guy's a pioneer for this kind of thing, and I'd like to get some of that going for this area as well. I probably won't be pronouncing the names of towns incorrectly like he does because I'm familiar with this area. Just joking. But anyway, we have other things that we can look at as well besides this, which is if we go over to here's a look at the satellite we have currently. I can actually go over to the models page here, which is going to zoom out a little bit, and we'll go right over that. And it'll have the exact timestamp of the model that we're looking at. This is the high resolution rapid refresh model, so we can get an idea of where these storms are going. And this updates every single hour, so we can see what the latest trends are for this. We also have the ability to go to the Storm Prediction Center and give you analysis of the surface. This is real-time data, and I'll have a little thumbnail of me down here instead. By the way, upper right-hand corner here is the current severe thunderstorm watch. A lot of people ask me, why did they not issue a tornado watch? There's a tornado threat today. Severe thunderstorms, folks, can produce tornadoes. It doesn't mean you don't need a tornado watch blanketing entire area to signify that there could be tornadoes. Any severe thunderstorm can do that. And then in the wording here that they use, it actually says a couple of tornadoes are possible is the first headline. Hail up to quarter size possible. That's the same as an inch. And widespread gust up to 70 miles per hour likely. That's the biggest threat from this entire event today. And yes, there is a possibility this can be extended eastward. I'm actually expecting this to extend eastward with time, but we got some time yet. All right, we got to see what these storms do that are out in central PA right now. And this is looking at the environment out in front of it, and the area they're chasing to is a prime area with a lot of decay, which is measuring the speed of the downdraft in the front of the storm, the gust front, basically. So the higher the number there, the better chance you see some damaging wind gusts with that. Below here in the bottom right-hand corner is the current SPC risk analysis for today. This was upgraded with this orange in the middle here with an enhanced risk for severe weather. And that was done earlier this afternoon. And those are the areas that are most prime for severe weather. It does not mean you can't get it further east. The yellow areas are a slight risk. The idea and the thinking here is once it gets to a line from about Lancaster to Allentown, or maybe just southeast of there, they're going to start to weaken a little bit. So if that's the case, we will have some storms continuing still strong past the Delaware River. Okay? So, and the last thing we have here is well, actually not the last thing. We have my Twitter page set up here. So if you want to send me some storm damage pictures on Twitter, this is the address where you can send it to. It's at EPAWAWX. And while I'm here, I kind of goofed here, so I'm going to change something. I don't know if it's going to let me do that. Let's see. I just want to get this whole thing moved over a little bit. To right there. Okay. I had a little bit of, there we go. I had a little bit of a cutoff there I missed. This is one of the things that I have to the kinks I have to work out with these future live streams. If you don't have time to sit on this live stream at one time and you have to go eat dinner, you have something to do and you want to come back later, I plan on having this for several hours, probably up till about 8, 9 o'clock, and when hopefully the storms will be weakening at that point. But if you have anything to send me as far as storm damage, photos, videos preferably, send them to me at this address here, at EPAWAWX, and I will try to get them on if I have time throughout the video here. We also have the storm chasers highlighted. Again, these are the Millersville students, the meteorology students that are chasing in 2 different cars, and my kid's actually in this car here on the right here, and I don't know what he's doing with his phone there. He's taking a photo of his dashboard there, apparently. But they are heading out towards Harrisburg right now. So that's where they want to have, in that general vicinity, they want to have that as the intercept point. So this is what it's going to look like. We'll be able to talk to them as well, hopefully. I'm doing this through Zoom. And I have a very, very powerful graphics card processor. So this should work. Very good internet processor as well. So we'll see. As long as we can get that and it's not glitchy, it probably will be on their end because they're using cellular data for the feed, but we'll see. This looks pretty good right now, so we can check back with them at later time. So now I just wanted to show you the overview of what we have available to us, okay? And this is the different scenes that we're going to be looking at. I'm going to go back to the main image here. Give me a second. Again, this is going to be a little glitchy starting off. I want to look at the radar. And we're going to see what we're looking at here. So this is the current radar out of Central PA. Okay, this is the Radar Omago app you can use on your phone. You can download that. It is a cost. I think it's about $8.99 or something like that. But you can download this to your phone, and it has some really cool stuff here. If we had storm chasers like they had down south, they would pop up on here as well. But I don't have that currently. Apparently, this isn't the severe weather event that they're choosing to run and chase. Okay. Once this gets into the Mount Holly radar, I can just click one button and boom, we're over here to the Mount Holly radar. It's out of range right now. So we're going to stick with State College. And again, you can do different things with this, with the velocity, just like you can do with radar scopes. So we can see some spots here. Currently, they have 4 active severe thunderstorm warnings. So I want to inspect some of these areas up in here and see what we're looking at. So there's an option here to see what kind of wind we might be dealing with. And they're showing some winds in here that are over 60 miles per hour right in here in this area that is in that yellow. This is in far eastern. Actually, it looks like it's just getting into Union County, which is right here. So that's north of Mifflinburg, northwest of Lewisburg. And on current path here, these are not moving very fast currently. And I can put this in motion just so we can see. Send this over to a high-res reflectivity. So you can see the general motion of where these are going as I move the radar in motion. Everything's heading off from southwest to northeast. The line itself is moving kind of northwest to east-southeast, okay? The entire line is moving in that direction, but along this line, everything is moving generally southwest and northeast, as you can see there. That's the storm direction, okay? So there is a severe thunderstorm warning, very warranted with this one. There is some lightning with that as well. And there's another one up here in this area. This is getting up to Sullivan County, and also that is Bradford County. So this is just south of Towanda and going through the LaPorte area right now, Dunshore, and that is heading off to the northeast. Just because you have this one storm going through doesn't mean that's the only one you may get. There's some back here by Williamsport that still have to work through the region as well. I'm going to be checking in here as at the same time I have my kid. My kid texts me at the same time. He's on that. He's this chasing in this car to the right here. So let me check in with them real quick because they have our feed's down for your stream. I don't know why. Hopefully I got that. Let me just check again and make sure my live stream is going. All right, because apparently it says it is. I should just keep this up just in case. Okay. Okay. Says it's going. And just want to pull it up just to see it's going here. Oh, new thunderstorm watch is up. Includes the rest of the EPAWA coverage area. Okay, we're going to get to that in a second. Okay, looks like you guys have me here. Okay, all right, just want to make sure. So these guys he's texting me telling me that he doesn't have. Oh, it's good now. Okay, he said he was having problems. It's probably a data problem with his system. So I just wanted to check into that, make sure that we weren't down, but we are not. Okay, so again, any comments that you have here, I won't be able to get to all of them. Somebody just said that there's an additional severe thunderstorm watch that was just issued. So we'll see if this is up here. I have the ability to bring this up here too and add the, and you do too. If you download this app, you can have this. This is actually the one for the PC. This is a little bit better. A lot more money, of course, and it's an annual subscription for it since I got the highest tier. I just want to bring up any, those are weather outlooks. Let's see. How do you get this? Oh, they're outlooks. Hold on, give me a second here. Weather alert settings. Severe thunderstorm watch. These are all on. Oh, those are warnings. Here we go. Just in case. Okay. Yeah, they don't have it posted yet. So they have it, it's hard to see, but these areas out here, west of here, are in a severe thunderstorm watch. I'm being told that this is extended east. Let me just confirm with that on Twitter and see that we have that as well. Okay. Give me a second. Again, this is a first run that we're doing with this, so I just want to make sure. Okay, let me go over to this Twitter page real quick and just show you what we have. This is the new severe thunderstorm watch that was just issued by the National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center. It has been issued for parts of Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania until midnight. So this is going to go for a while, and it's for much of the remainder of the area. This is that area of far east central Pennsylvania was not included in the original watch. The reason they delayed the two is because they had to, one, see how the line's developing, and two, they had to make sure that the timing was right with this. So they waited. Still the same parameters here. A couple tornadoes possible is what's shown here. Isolated hail up to marble size, so it's a little bit smaller than the areas further west. And scattered wind gust up to 70 miles per hour likely. Okay, so we'll go back to this. I just wanted to make sure I saw that. And while we're on here, see if anybody's sending me anything good. Give me a second. I got some pre-damage here. Where's this at? This is up, I believe she's up in, Joanne Kennedy, she's up in Dunshore. So I just wanted to see if there was anything up there. So if you have anything to send me, I will get to this, I promise. But we're going to go back to the radar because that's the most pertinent thing right now, that we have right now. And that is right here. Okay. So going back to the radar, this is what we have. Okay. And before I do this, let me talk to the storm chasers, see if I can bring these guys up. This is up. I believe she's up in Joanne Kennedy. He's on my live stream. I'm going to have to get him to mute that. Give me a second. Hey, Shane, can you mute your, or at least turn off my live stream? Because it's what I'm hearing in the background. I want to go to you so you can kind of explain to everybody what you're doing and where you're going. Okay, so I'm gonna have him do that. And I'm going to unmute myself. Okay. Shane, can you hear me right now? On my live stream. I'm going to get him. Hey, Shane, can you mute your, or at least turn off? So this is going to be a little behind. I'm using desktop at the same time. Again, I'm not as good as Ryan Hall trying to get this to, everything to work together. It's going to repeat what I just said. Shane, can you hear me right now?
It's so delayed. It's so delayed. Hey, Shane, can you mute your... Would you rather us mute and I just call?
So this is going to be a little behind. I'm using desktop at the same time. Again, I'm not as good as Ryan Hall trying to get this to... it's repeating. Everything to work together.
Just call.
It's going to repeat what I just said.
Yeah, right here. It's 6:30. It's about time to work out on this one. So delayed. Let's I just my stopping ground. That's all. Would you rather us mute and I just call?
So this is going to be a little behind. I'm using desktop at the same time. Again, I'm not as good as Ryan Hall trying to get this to... it's repeating. Everything to work together.
Yes.
Going to repeat what I just said.
Yeah, right here. It's 6:30. It's about time to work
Ha.
out.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll come back to that. All right. Give me a second. We'll go back to where we were. Okay. All right. So we're going to stick the radar. We're having a little bit issues with the feed. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay. All right, so I got people texting me telling me the stream's working. All right, let's just focus on the radar here because that's what's most important right now. We'll get back to the storm chasers if I can get them in. Again, I'm doing this by myself. I don't have a team. I think Ryan has several people working for him. That might be something we do down the road. But I'm doing this live stream myself. So we're going to focus on some of these storms and see what we're dealing with. We got a severe thunderstorm warning down here that's moving into Franklin County. We don't cover west of there, but this is including the northwestern portion of Franklin County. So let's take a look at this and see what we're dealing with. And again, there's some strong... there's a little bit of rotation there. Not much, but there's a little bit. Turn these watches off because that's going to be counterproductive to what I'm doing here. Tornado watches are off. That's off. Okay, just so we don't have this popping up. Okay, so this is the severe thunderstorm severe thunderstorm warning for those areas I just mentioned. It's just west of Franklin County, which is the far western parts of our coverage area. And this is going to be annoying without these streams up here now. It's going to put something completely different on my desktop. These are the kinks I was talking about, right? Okay, so, but the good news about that is, now I can move my, I can move some other things in here. Okay, I'll go to my channel here, then I can pull up some comments and see what's going on. Okay. Skip the ads there. Okay. All right, we had trouble with the feed there, so we're just going to go on without that. All right, so unfortunately, we have, see if I can get these YouTube comments. Oh, that's not going to work either. Okay, never mind. Never mind that. Again, these are the glitches we're dealing with. I'm not going to have the storm chasers apparently up here because we lost them. Yeah, he's texted me. I said I lost the meeting somehow. No kidding. Okay, so we have a little bit of rotation that's right in here. There's not a whole lot there. This is a very weak rotation. So you could certainly have that during this event here, and it's not necessarily mean it's going to produce a tornado. But there is, if we go over to the a different radar site, which is this is the radar scope app. You can see again, there's some little rotation rate in there. Okay, just want to see if there's anything there. Okay, so I'm going to do an inspector and see what's going on there. Looks like we have some wind gusts on the this does not look like a tornado here, but there is some rotation there, some weak rotation. So basically what you have here is it's along the line. So this is a QLCS, kind of like we had last night, and along this the line you can have some rotation at any point. This is a little too weak yet, but what you have here is you have some the rear flank downdraft coming in behind it, and you have this warm, moist air feeding in like this. So in the middle, where these meet in the middle in this circle, is where you would have your tornado. If you have a tornado, it's going to be right there. There's no tornado warning with this, but it's an area. There's a little suspect I want to watch for areas farther northeast as that moves in that general direction. It is heading into mountainous regions, so this might not be something that is going to last too long. And usually along a line like this, they don't last too long. And up in this area, this is all unidirectional wind. But there are some very strong wind gusts with this that are noted out of the State College radar. Again, going to the inspector tool, we can see there's some wind gusts that are over 60 miles per hour in that particular region. Now, it's not all along this line where you have severe storms. You have some up here as well, as I mentioned before. But this is not rotating either. This is also unidirectional. So right now, the severe thunderstorm warnings are good. I just want to watch that one area that's right down here. And right now that is in northern Franklin County. If you're in northern Franklin County, even though there's no warning, just pay attention to this because this is could be producing a funnel, or at the very least there is some rotation there, even if it is a weaker amount of rotation. Okay, so we're going to pay attention to that area specifically, and I want to go over the GR2 just to see what it has for that particular cell down there. Again, that would be with this right here. See if we have any kind of rotation with this. In this is near, looks like near Dry Run, okay, headed toward the Concord area. All right, and that is, I'm gonna take a look at this from a cross section view just to see what we're dealing with. Okay, and so this is looking at a cross section. If you were looking straight on a straight plane this way, right, you're looking at it across, and you can see where the cloud tops are. This is low topped convection. This is not very high. It's 20,000 feet. Those storms we had down yesterday that we didn't have, but Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, those areas were very high cloud tops. You had cloud tops that were above 40,000 feet, some cases 50,000 feet. So you're getting up in the troposphere level up there, at or the tropopause level. You're getting pretty high in the atmosphere at that point once you get above that 30,000 foot level. Okay, so once you get up in here, your anvil's shooting way over the top. So let's see if we have any rotation with that particular cell. And yes, there definitely is. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this very well. I'm going to zoom in. This is looking, again, if you're looking at through the layers of the atmosphere going straight up, but straight across at it, this is what you're looking at. So you can see some degrees. It's very light, very weak. All right, so we got a little bit of rotation with this that's noted at different levels. I'm going to see if I can get a better angle of it so you can see it. But you can definitely see that blue right there, and then right above it, there's a little couple patches of green there. That is a little bit of rotation. It's very weak rotation. but it is rotation nevertheless, and there is no tornado warning with that. But that's something I'm sure the National Weather Service at State College is looking at very closely. By the way, the National Weather Service is issuing all these warnings. I cannot issue these warnings. I'm just going to point out some things that I see stand out to me, and we're also going to take a look at, from this other radar, this one here. We can do track timing of these storms. So that's what I'm really most interested in. So we want to warn people downstream. Yes, they have a severe thunderstorm warning. This is a new one issued, and you can see the direction this is going, right? And if I move to the velocity radar, you can see a large area of very strong winds just south of Williamsport and heading toward the Lewisburg area right now. And that's going to head to places like Moreland, Greenwood, and Benton very shortly. The context of this severe thunderstorm warning is... get to it. So it's a severe thunderstorm warning for Columbia County, southeastern Lycoming County, north central Pennsylvania, Montour County, northwestern Northumberland County, northern Snyder County, southeastern Sullivan County, and eastern Union County until 5:45 p.m. And it is moving northeast of 45. Thank you. I don't have to figure that out because I can figure that out with an azimuth here. But we're going to use 45 miles per hour as the forward speed of those storms. And the hazard is 70 mile per hour wind gust and nickel-size hail radar indicated. Okay, and we can see that. We can certainly see that if I do this as an expector. You can see some winds here that are definitely in the 60 to near 70 mile per hour range. 60, 65. These are all definitely in that range right now near Montgomery and White Deer, also West Milton. Those areas right now are getting into those very high winds, and that's why they're warning everything downstream. So if I do this as we're going to draw a storm track from this and just see where we're at, and it's heading up in this direction to the north and east. So we're going to make they already told me what it's going to be with the wind speed. This is 45 miles per hour, so you can do this, again, you can do this from Radar Omega yourself. I think you have to get the top tier like we have on a subscription, but this will give you an idea of how long it takes to get each location, and you can see in the upper left, it's giving me impact times. White Deer in 3 minutes or less. Gregg is in 6 minutes, Allenwood 8 minutes, Watsontown 9 minutes, and you can go all the way through the list here. 5 Points in 17 minutes, Turbotville in 16 minutes. Got some, trying to look for some bigger towns that would be mentioned here. Jerseytown, 29 minutes, Madison. This goes all the way up through the warning. So this entire area is under the gun. It does not include LaPorte in this particular, well, it does now, actually. Let me change this, draw this a little bit differently. And now we'll have LaPorte in this as well. Unfortunately, I can't change the size of this. It just kind of gives me the track northeast from there. And my live stream audio is off at least now. Let me try to go and mute this down. So apparently the storm chasers are having trouble. He's texting me saying that he's having trouble. Let me get back to him. Hey, Shane, we could just bag the chase. If you have anything you want to send it to me on Twitter, because right now it's going to be too hard for me to do the live stream at the same time and get this integrated back with the new stream. I'm just going to focus on the radar and see what we have here and, make sure everybody's aware of what's coming downstream. All right, so he'll stop bugging me, hopefully. Just kidding, Shane. Okay, so these are those storm chasers are heading toward. Get out of here. Good Lord. Okay, those storm chasers are heading to the Harrisburg area. They're just trying to intercept over here. I told him earlier he probably would be best to at least start there and then maybe move northeast from there. So some of the strongest storms are north of him right now, and then up heading toward the Williamsport area or just south of there. Okay. And those are the areas that are of most concern right now. Also, these areas up here in far northeastern Pennsylvania, this is going to be coming into Susquehanna County very shortly, and a severe thunderstorm warning was issued for this for up to 60 miles per hour, and it looks like marble-sized hail there as well. Okay, so let's go back to the radar so we can see what we're doing here. You can see the most impressive, and a little bow to it. You see that bow right there? You got this big bow that's heading right through Lewisburg right now, and heading to Turbotville, and there's a lot of places in downstream, Picture Rocks, Moreland, Washingtonville that are in the line of fire with this. So we're going to watch this one closely, but it does have a bowing to it, and when the storms bow out like that, we have to watch for two things. One, toward the center of this, you see the strongest winds, and we can see that here on radar. that's certainly where it is. Right where the middle of that bow is where you can see the highest wind concentration. And again, those winds in there are generally 60 plus, 60 to 65 miles per hour right now. There's a 67 right there. So they're pretty strong, and that means that the warning that they have out here for up to 70 miles per hour was very accurately described here. So they have a good handle on that particular cell. But the other part of that is sometimes when you have these bow echoes like this, you can get mesovortices on either end, which would be right here and right here. These are called bookend vortices, and those are mesovortices that form at the end of that. It becomes its own little engine as this line bows out like this, okay? So we're going to have to watch these areas right in here and here for a possible rotation, okay? So we'll continue to monitor that very closely as we move along and get off the tool here. I'm learning this. I just got this Radar Omega over the last couple of weeks once Ryan Hall recommended this. It's a very good app. So if you want to invest in something, that or Radar Scope's very good too. I'm using both of those. Actually, that and the GR2. Okay. Let me go back to this one that's down here. This came out of Franklin County. Now it's moving northeast. I just want to see if this has that same rotation signature with it any longer. Oh, it still does, and it's a little bit better. So this might be a candidate right here for something that might be suddenly upgraded to a tornado warning, okay? This looks like it's a little bit stronger of a rear flank downdraft with this, and you can see that right here over Amberson. And what that is the rear flank downdraft comes in behind the storm like this and comes in, and here's your warm inflow coming in like this. In the middle where they meet there would be, if you had a tornado or a funnel cloud, it would be right in there near... And this is near, what is that? It is Amberson Valley Estates, right in here. Now, this is still not very strong rotation, but it's still rotation nonetheless, and we have to keep watching that. I'm sure the National Weather Service and State College, which is up here, they are watching this very closely because it's not too far from their backyard. Again, I don't issue warnings. I cannot. No one besides the National Weather Service can issue these warnings, okay? We work hand in hand with them to get the information out, and I'm not competing with them in any way. I'm just giving you a different perspective and a different platform so that you can see this and maybe learn what you're looking for on these radars. This looks pretty concerning down here, though, and I imagine they're all over this, okay? This is just north of the Pennsylvania Turnpike near the Amberson area or just north of there, and I'm going to put this in motion just because I want to see what the history of this is and where it's headed. Okay. Now, these, like all the other storms that we've had so far, are all moving off to the northeast. Everything's pretty unidirectional along that line. It's southwest to northeast and generally 45 miles per hour. I want to see if they have that. They changed the speed on this. This one's moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. Wow. Okay, that's really hauling. This one's really hauling here. So we're going to I'm going to stop the radar here just so we can get a measure of where this is going. We're going to draw a storm track northeast from here and see where we're going with this particular cell, okay? I'm going to move it all the way up to here. And they said at 65 miles per hour is the speed. Again, I don't have time to calculate these, so I'm going to take their word for it, okay? But these are where the possible areas this could be affected very shortly. McRae in 10 minutes, Jackson in 11, Blaine in 12 minutes, Doubling Gap in 12 minutes, Couchtown in 12 minutes, Andersonburg in 14 minutes, Southwest Madison in 14 minutes. So those are the areas in the immediate path. Again, we'll come back to this because I want to make sure there's some other ones here too that are further downstream. But again, usually when you have this kind of rotation along a line like this, there's spin-ups along the line that don't necessarily last too long, okay? So that's something we're going to continue to monitor here, and I'm sure they're monitoring up there as well at the National Weather Service. I keep doing this. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. But for the rest of these are all unidirectional linear up here, okay? Still no signs of rotation that you can really see, though. Man, you can really see. Let me check the change of thickness of this, too, so you can see what I'm drawing better. Look at this. Oh, that's not too big. That's way too big. Get rid of this. Okay. Look at this bow right here. Unbelievable. But you see this dark area of red right there? That's one of the bookend vortices, okay? You don't have one on the northern side of it. There's nothing really shown further north. The only thing that's annoying about this, you have to keep deselecting everything as you're trying to move it. You do have a little bit up here. Here's your bookend vortices, one near Hills Grove and one down here by the Sealands Grove area. So those two areas are going to be areas to watch for any possible rotation. Don't see any rotation anywhere else. You got this strong storm moving into western Susquehanna County right now. So be under the gun for that. This one is for 60 mile per hour wind gusts with that, and that certainly is supported here with the radar. What if I go live on Twitter? Would that be easier? Yeah, you can try that. I'll see if I can snap the audio, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to do that, but try it. Go ahead. Okay, talking to my kid who's chasing. I had the tour. This looks crappy now because I lost the Storm Chaser feed, but that's what they were, and unfortunately, that's not going to be part of this. I might be able to pull it up on Twitter here in a little bit. Let's see. If you guys have any storm damage, to send me, I will greatly appreciate that. Because the storm damage is going to be very important to kind of get an idea of what's actually happening on the ground. Okay. I can sit here and look at models all day. I can look at radar all day. It's you guys out there that are going to give me and the National Weather Service some tools to use, for issuing future warnings for people downstream that you can help others. But you can also, we can also see what kind of damage these are producing. Just sometimes these radars will show these intense winds, and I have no doubt that this one that just went through Lewisburg produced some damage. If you're up here in Union County, right? If you're up here in Union County and you have these, you have anything to share from there, that will be certainly helpful. Okay, this gets up into parts of Sullivan County. This is getting into parts of Northumberland County. If you got any damage with this line coming in to share, please do. To my Twitter, it's at EPAWAWX. That is the Twitter. That is my Twitter handle. So send those to me. I like to look at other guys too. And look at this. This is great minds think alike. I'll tell you. So this is Mike is a good friend of mine. I'm going to move this over to. Let's see. Who's over the Twitter feed here? Mike's a good friend of mine. He's identifying some of these same areas that I am with this rotation. And look at that. There he is. He's all over it. Okay, so good job, Mike. That's definitely exactly the same area we were looking for some possible rotation, and that's with this cell that is down here, right here. And yes, we still have some rotation with it. Again, this is just weaker rotation. That's probably why they're not warning it yet. And there's certainly no ground reports of that. We don't have anything there that is showing ground reports. I can look over the GR2 and see, and there's no reports here. There's nothing. Okay, if there's a observed anything, they will pop up here on the GR2 radar, and I don't see anything at all currently. Okay, I have to keep remembering to drink. I don't. I know Ryan has those big gallon jugs of water. I drink Powerade, and this is not a paid promotion, by the way. I got to keep doing that, or else my voice is going to be hoarse in a couple hours. So it probably will be anyway. So I won't be drinking beer on this live stream because the hops in the beer is not good for your voice, in case you didn't know that. So anyway, let's go back to the radar here. Just pull this back up here to see what we're dealing with. Again, there's a little bit of rotation we're watching that is in far northern Franklin County. It's actually moving into our coverage area. This is going to be west of Harrisburg. So if you're in the Harrisburg area, you don't have to worry about this just yet. This is not heading in your direction. This is heading to the Newport area. This is heading to New Bloomfield, Thompsontown, that general vicinity. Center is in the more immediate path of this, as is Landisburg. So we have to watch those areas specifically. If you don't have a funnel cloud or tornado with it, there's still pretty strong winds with this as well. So we're going to keep watching that particular area with vested interest. I'm going to continue to look at Twitter too. If you guys have something to send me, please do so. As far as damage is concerned, I'm going to troll Mike's feed here. Just make sure I'm not. He's just showing radar shots right now. I told him if he wants to go live that he could, and I would do that. Let me send our drone pilot a message to him too. Hey, if you go live, make sure you put it on Twitter so I can see it, because that's the best platform for me to broadcast this and show whatever you have as far as drone footage. Damn it. Just so he knows. Okay, so Ray Leichner is our drone pilot. He had planned on going out at some point this evening, but this is going to be much later because, I mean, he lives down here in Chalfont. He may move northwest and try to intercept some of these. It might not be before sunset, so it might not be the greatest images. We'll see. But either way, this is what our current radar looks like. And again, there's just portions of this line right now that are a little squirrely that we have to keep an eye on. The most notable is up here. The bow echo here lost a little bit of its touch, but it's still going strong through this warding area. And these are going to move further east with time. Okay? If I go over to the SPC page, which I want to do now, let me get a better image of this. This has our old severe thunderstorm watch. This is all the areas that were included in the severe thunderstorm watch that was issued a little bit earlier. There is a new severe thunderstorm watch out as well, and I'll get that for you too. And I'm going to replace it with this. I'm going to change the URL of this and change it. So just give me a second to do that so I have the updated information. SPC. This is... So the Storm Prediction Center puts out these really nice graphics that it's very easy to see everything you're looking for. Okay. I just have to copy the URL for this. Okay, that's off. Okay, that's off. You seem to have a troll in your comment feed. I'm sure I do. We always do. Most of you are not trolls. That's why I do this, okay? All right, so here is, let me go to the right browser and see if I can select it. It's this one right here. Okay, good. To change the properties of this here too. And there we go. Okay, so those are both the active severe thunderstorm watches. Again, this pretty much covers our entire area. The only parts that are not covered are the southern two-thirds of Delaware. They're not covered under current watch. And it looks like Cumberland County, Atlantic County, and Cape May County in New Jersey are not covered, but the rest of New Jersey is. Okay, this first one goes until 10 p.m. this evening. The second one is until midnight. Both have the context of a couple tornadoes possible. Again, you don't have to have a tornado watch to have tornado warnings issued. Okay, so that's not a necessity. Any severe thunderstorm can produce a tornado. So that is covered in the severe thunderstorm watch that they issued, because primarily this is going to be a severe wind threat. And we've had some crazy winds already today ahead of this squall line. We're having wind gusts that are over 40 miles per hour in some spots, and we're causing some power issues around the region at different points. So this is all ahead of the line. The line is going to, once it moves through, is going to culminate. The wind threat today is culminating with this line. Once it moves through, that's it. The areas further south here, same thing. Couple tornadoes possible. The top one, the only difference between these two in terms of what it's saying, they both say scattered wind gusts of up to 70 miles per hour likely. And the ones in central Pennsylvania here, in the first watch, says up to quarter-size hail. The one further south, further east, that was just issued a little while ago, is for up to marble-size hail. So it's a little bit smaller. Not much difference between these two. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go back to... I'm going to go back to the radar, make sure we stay on top of that. Okay, so that's because this is the main thing here. And I'm going to get to the models here in a second, but I want to make sure I don't miss anything, especially with this one down here. Now, you still got that Boeing line segment moving toward Bloomsburg right now. I would think the worst winds with this are going to be heading up in these areas, the northern portions, which is up by Benton. You can see they're starting to scale back the severe thunderstorm warning as it moves through. Over to velocity. Yeah, see up here in Moreland, they're probably getting it right now. And after this, we're going to have, this is going to move into what looks like, move into Wyoming County very shortly, okay? So we have one set of severe thunderstorms moving into the western part of Susquehanna County. We have severe thunderstorms currently over top of Northumberland and Montour counties, and that will be heading toward what looks like it's also moving toward Columbia County as well. Columbia County is getting into that now as well. So it's going to move toward Cumberland County, and then eventually into Wyoming County, maybe northern Luzerne here in the next little bit here. You're moving very fast to the northeast. Again, this is still rotation there, but it's even weaker than we saw last time. It's very disorganized. You got a very broad... The rear flank downdraft is there, and people are saying, well, what do you mean? The reds are a little stronger, and so are the greens. Well, the problem with this is the rear flank downdraft is like this, okay? It's not a tight window here, right? It's not tight. So we're looking for that tightness with a rear flank downdraft. It's certainly there, but there's not really an indication that this is too strong right now. This is probably not producing a tornado. We can go over to the GR2 and confirm that and see what kind of rotation we have with this. Where was that at? I was right in here, right? Okay, so look at the volume scan. And that's what we got. I might have went out too far there. Yeah, you got a little bit of rotation there. A little bit. Okay. A little bit of rotation. It hasn't really gotten any worse or any better. It's kind of just the same as it has been. So if this does start to flare up and start to get a little bit more tight with that supercell along that line, they will certainly issue a tornado warning. And by the way, on the GR2, if you did not hear me say this earlier, the GR2 radar, the severe thunderstorm warnings are in red. I didn't change the parameters for that. I should, but I will do that soon. Okay, while I'm doing this here, let me check in on Shane, see what he's up to. I don't know. Okay. All right. He's not... They must be... I'm not sure where they are exactly. They were heading toward the Harrisburg area, and we lost the stream. Apparently, he was using a free Zoom service, and that times out after a while. At least that's what he told me. So that's kind of interesting. Got to pay to play sometimes, right? So just want to get onto the live stream real quick and just see what we're... Okay. All right. I just want to get on this real quick just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Well, let me... Ay. Okay, there's that person being reported. See ya. Bye-bye. Kaylee says they're in Camp Hill. Okay. So that's near Harrisburg. I don't know, Kaylee. Hi, Kaylee. Kaylee is Shane's longtime girlfriend. Okay, so... Oh, Lord. Flat Earth-wise. What the hell? Okay, I'm going to hide this guy from the channel. He's going to keep trying to comment, but we're going to keep eliminating. Okay. So again, if you have my the stream off, if you are in the any of the path of any of these storms and you want to send me anything, please do. Let me get off this guy because it's annoying. Okay. Again, I don't have moderators. I'm doing this by myself. I really don't have time to jump through those. So just ignore them. Trolls go away if you leave them alone. Still unidirectional wind up here in the northern part here. I want to switch this over to the Binghamton radar just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yep, still unidirectional. The Binghamton radar will give me a better idea of the wind speeds up in this area. So it does look like this line here that was bowing out a little bit is not quite as intense as it was before. So that's a good thing. We get into here where we've got winds 50 to 60-ish. Still very strong and certainly warrants the severe thunderstorm warning that's in place there. This green is also a flash flood warning. Yep. Flash flood warning issued for that area. That's parts of... It looks like it's parts of Bradford County. Southeastern Bradford County where that is. Okay. So, severe thunderstorms are one thing. Everybody gets all excited about severe thunderstorms, tornadoes, what have you. Flash flooding is the most dangerous, believe it or not. Okay. As far as things that can kill people. People are trapped and they can't... they drive through roadways that are too deep in water, and then next thing you know, they're stuck. Okay. And then this is, I'll have to go back to the state college radar for this one down here. Where is it? There it is. Eventually, with time, as this moves eastward, we're going to have a different radar look from Mount Holly, but it's going to take a while to get there, and that's going to be toward the end of the stream. It's going to be in a couple hours. So we had a long time for this to get over here. And you see the general motion of these storms as I move out a little bit. General motion of these storms are all southwest and northeast, and they're hauling pretty fast, okay? They're not moving slow at all. But the general line movement of moving east is taking its good old time doing so. It's the line itself is not moving with any sense of purpose eastward. Okay. All right, so let's go over to some models here and see what we're looking at for... I'll go to the models page here. Just to see what we're looking at going forward, and I'm going to give you... This is the latest and greatest image I have right here. Okay, so this is the 19Z run. And you can see it's moving eastward, but it's not taking its time. You can see the time here on the stream. It has the model time of day, and that's actual time. That's not Zulu time. So if you want to look what time it is as I move this forward, you see the line itself is really not moving that far and that fast. Once it gets over to southeastern Pennsylvania up to northwestern New Jersey, the line kind of falls apart. Again, this may hold intact up through... This may hold intact up to... most of northern New Jersey, but it doesn't look like southern New Jersey is going to get into too much of this, okay? Forgot one little thing here, my little drawing tool. Where is it? Okay, there we go. So I think, from what we're looking at right now, according to what this model says, the best thunderstorms will be generally, from this, going forward, are going to be more like this, north of that line. Is where your best thunderstorm potential is. It does not mean you're not going to get thunderstorms down here or here, but your best chance, your highest chance is going to be up here. That's what we're looking at for the rest of the day, according to the high-resolution rapid refresh model. Again, this updates every hour. It's actually in the middle of updating right now, and this is looking at what it should be at 5 p.m. And guess what? Right now it is just about 5 p.m. We're 4 minutes until... Oh, here it is, right above me, or right to the side of me here. It's 4:56 at the time. That we're looking at right now. So we've been on the stream almost about an hour here. I'm going to keep going with these storms as much as I can until I see them either weaken or go away. Yeah, I don't see that happening right now, but let's check in with the SBC real quick. Again, the current severe thunderstorm watches are on the right, and this is the environment ahead of it. So when you're looking at this here as being the chance for the best severe weather the rest of the day. Whoops. Uh-oh. Kind of like this. That's your best severe weather north of that line. That's where the best decape is right now. That's where your best downdraft cape is. Okay? So I think that's where your... this has always been, if you watch my daily forecast videos, this has always been where the threat was for today. It was for straight line winds, isolated tornado, weak spin up, and I mentioned that in several daily forecast videos prior to this, but I still think that's the case. Low chance that we see a tornado. It's very low, actually. And we put a severe weather chart out to the public today, which we usually reserve for private clients. We put that out in the forum and send it to our clients today. I did share that on Twitter, which had our severe parameters for today. And it's looking like it's pretty good right now. So we're going to go back over to the radar. Okay, so this is going to be a slow crawl today. Again, I'm just doing... The only reason I'm really doing this is not so much because of widespread severe weather. I don't think it's going to be crazy today. We've had crazier days. I know they have the advanced risk or the enhanced risk out by the Storm Prediction Center for generally these areas right in here, right? These are your... God bless. One of these days I'm going to remember to change the color so you can see. So these are your enhanced risk areas generally in here. Right? Generally. That enhanced risk area still looks good, for the rest of today, but it's mostly going to be we're looking at a severe weather threat at being straight line winds, okay? And that's what we're seeing so far. And I move this over here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, so we're going to go back into examining some of these. He's still got a bow here. This is in... This looks like this is going to Montour County right now, and then this will head up into Wyoming County. Okay? So if you are in the eastern part of Sullivan County is getting it right now. And this is moving up to the north and east. Same thing with this one. This severe thunderstorm warning was extended. This is for 60 miles per hour here. And this one here is still for 70. They have not decided to extend this downstream just yet. They may very shortly, however. Okay, yeah, you still see some pretty strong winds with this. And I'm going to go over to the Binghamton radar real quick just to get a better view since it's moving up in that area. You can see with the gust front, which is your downdrafts in the front of the storm, this is what you have. Okay, this is what you have. I'm going to see the GR2 real quick, see if we get a better view for that. I'm going to have to change this to Binghamton also. Okay, so with the gust front, what's the gust front? Gust front is the forward flank downdraft. That is your speed, your wind, your gusty winds that come at the beginning of every storm. It's like the first 10, 15 minutes or so of the storm, right? And you get some pretty good gusts sometimes with these storms. In this case, you're going to have some very strong gusts. And some of these gusts in here are shown between 60 and 70 miles per hour. So I'm actually surprised that they have not extended it to the Harvey's Lake area and places like that, because it does look like it's very much going to affect northern Luzerne County as well. Up the back mountain here. I mean, these areas are all in the path of this, and they have not decided to extend it there for whatever reason. This looks like it's pretty strong to me, and this may pop up here very shortly anyway. Let's see. See, we got a new warning come up. This was 3 minutes ago. Nope, that's the old warning. So, there's a very strong gust front with this, and with that gust front, you can get some winds that are 60 plus as that heads off to the north and east. And I'm going to change this back to reflectivity. And you can clearly see where that bow is. That is currently our strongest storm that we have going anywhere. There's another bow up here heading in towards Susquehanna Depot right now in Susquehanna County. And the velocity on that, not quite as impressive as the one further south. Okay, you can clearly see where this gust front is near Jameson City, right? Down to Stillwater. And that's all moving north and east. But this one up here has a little bit of a bow to it, but it's not really reflecting on the wind here. You get a wind gust here on the front of this, or in the 40s, 40 to 50, 45, 50 miles per hour. So it's not bad. Not bad at all, but it's still strong enough. You don't need 60 mile per hour winds to do damage. You can get wind gusts that are 45, 50 that knocks out power, that takes down small branches. This can certainly happen. Take your trash for a ride down the street. This is the one that's most concerning to me, though, and that is, again, near Benton. So that area up to Jameson City, they're getting it right now. Stillwater, New Columbus. This is going to head up to the Harvey's Lake area, and I'll try to time this out for you on this one as I move this over to the reflectivity radar. So you can see, I'm going to move this into motion. You see where it's going. Now, they have this issued here, right? That includes this northern part of this line, but the southern part of the line has a lot of juice to it, too. They're just not going to have it for, if you're in, you're northwest of Wilkes-Barre here in northwestern Luzerne County, this is an area that's going to be strong winds as well. Even though there's not a warning here, that does not mean you're not going to have gusty winds. Again, it might only be 45, 50, 55, but that's strong enough, okay? But you can see where this is going. So as I stop this, and we're going to move this forward with the storm track, see where this is going. You can see which way the way it was traveling anyway. And this is, you know what? Hold on a second. Cancel that. Let me see the context of this warning. Oop. There we go. Now this is moving northeast at 35 miles per hour, it says. That looks like it's a little faster than 35. As far as 27 minutes. Okay. All right, well, we'll put this as 35 miles per hour. Again, I don't think that's quite right, but we'll use this as the to try to time these out a little bit. And I lost my sense of motion here. Okay, so that's what it's doing. So this is going to be moving off in this direction like this. Okay, that's where that's going. And they say 35 miles per hour, so we'll calculate that from there. And these are the potential areas that could be affected by this system. Okay, and this is all more immediately. Lopez, Collie, got North Branch. Some of these areas will get these very soon in the next 10 minutes. And then once you get beyond that, you're looking at 20. You got about 15, 20 minutes in Stowell, Lovelton. You get about 20, 25 minutes in Jenningsville. So these are all these small towns in between. It's going to pick up every single town in here. as you move northeast. So this is going to be a lot more populated what Ryan Hall does on his videos when he's down south, because they're so few and far between. Everybody's spread out all over the place. The northeast is a little bit different. We're a lot more populated and a lot more on top of each other, even in areas that aren't really on top of each other compared to some of our bigger cities, right? But so there's all your severe thunderstorm warnings. Most of them, again, are going to be with this particular cell here moving off to the north and east. The southern part of this line does not look too great right now. All right, you have some, it looks ominous, but it doesn't, just because it looks like this is a precipitation rate radar. Okay, this is going to pick up how heavy the precipitation is. It's not going to pick up, it's not going to pick up the intensity of these storms. So there is no current severe thunderstorm warnings with this. They probably have a special weather statement. Yep, they do. And it probably says for up to 50. Let's see. Severe thunderstorm watch. Wind gusts up to 50. That's what I thought. Usually when it's when you have wind gusts are up to 50 with it, that's not good enough for severe thunderstorm warnings. You need 58 miles per hour or greater, and they're not seeing that right now. Let's see if I am. No. And by the way, the rotation was with this particular cell, and that's gone now. You don't see the rotation anymore. That has gone away. That is typical of these kind of linear systems, that you have a little rotation along that. Now everything's pretty unidirectional now, so it's looking a lot better from that standpoint. So I don't see anything here that is not linear. We're all unidirectional, which is good. It's good and bad. It means you're going to have no tornadoes, but at the same time, it means you're going to have straight line wind damage to contend with. And again, some of these outflow boundaries, or not outflow boundaries, the gust fronts, are looking pretty ominous, for especially up here across northwestern. Here you go. Northwestern is not even under a warning, but northwestern portions of Luzerne County up here in northeast Pennsylvania. This is heading toward Wyoming County right now, and eventually will hit Lackawanna County if it stays intact, and it does. By all indications, it looks like it will. Okay. So we're going to continue to follow this. I'm going to go back to the State College radar so I can capture the whole radar as a whole, so you can see. And here's where we have it. You basically have multiple lines here. You have one Boeing out here that's producing some 50 plus mile per hour gusts. You got another one Boeing out here that's producing 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. And then further south, you got a little bit of a strong wind in this right here. This was with that former rotation, but there's no rotation there anymore. And then you have another one forming further south, but this is producing up to 50 mile per hour gusts. Not completely Boeing out like some of these other ones up further north. And that's why you're getting just a special weather statement down in those particular areas. And the radar just updated on me. Okay, that's us. That's my. I'm getting text alerts from our EPAWA My Pocket Meteorologist members, or not from them, but we send it out to them. I get those too. So my team is in the background doing that. So that's what they're doing. They're doing the private forecasting services, and they're handling all that stuff, whether it be the forum, whether it is our private clients, which are going to start getting a lot busier soon. But that's what they're dealing with behind the scenes right now. So I'm doing the stream on my own, and that's why I can't get to all these questions. So I'm going to check in on that, though, since I know some of you may have questions. Let me check in. I should just keep this up. What I should have been doing. Okay, so there's our live stream. And there's our feed. Okay. Okay, let's see. All right, well, I did this once before. I'm not sure why, but it is. If anybody's any questions for me as I'm going through this live stream, now's a good time. We're kind of waiting. These are very slowly moving east, and I cover everything on the radar that we currently have. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask those. I did click the dots to hide this guy from the channel, but it's not going away. I'm not sure why. Jim, you're an idiot. Please go away. Yes, shout out to Ryan Hall. Absolutely. That guy's awesome. Nothing worth flying yet. No, Josh, we're still good for another 2 to 3 hours yet. I'm doing good. I need to take. Remember to take the breaks here. Tilting team just launched their first balloon. Thanks, Kaylee. Yeah, that is that's unfortunate that I was not able to keep their stream up. So what I'm gonna have to do, and Shane's not gonna do it because he's in college, and they have their own the tilting project that they have that we're sponsoring, and we're gonna have to get him a subscription to the Zoom channel, because otherwise he had the free version of that and it went offline and he couldn't get it back. So it times out after a while, and I should have told him that. I have a subscription to it. We need a subscription to talk to our clients for that, but he doesn't have that. So unfortunately, they're actually launching a weather balloon into to try to gauge the atmosphere that's they're out ahead of this. And I believe she said they were in the Camp Hill area right now. What's the chances for tornadoes in Bucks County? I would say low. It's been low all day. And there's the reason why they issued the severe thunderstorm watch and not the tornado watch. Any severe thunderstorm can still produce a tornado, but they should be very isolated. If it does happen, it's going to be a weak spin up. It's not going to be anything crazy. I don't think. I mean, tornado's a tornado, right? There's nothing I see right now that would indicate to me that there's any rotation anywhere. This is all unidirectional wind, which is good. So as long as that trend continues, the tornado part of it will go down. All right. If you guys are looking for timing, go to my Twitter page at EPAWAWX. Okay, do that, because on that page, I'm going to go over to the Twitter page now, just so you see. Move this out of here. I'm going to show you what it looked like. Okay, I'm going to go over to the Twitter page real quick so you can see that. Okay, there's my Twitter page. On this page, I put it's a proprietary severe weather probabilities chart, okay? This is a 1 to 10 scale, or 0 to 10 scale of chances of seeing each type of severe or non-severe. I don't just do severe stuff. It's also, because like I said, winds 35 to 45 miles per hour can still do some minor damage. So we start the scale there. We don't go by the National Weather Service guidelines of 58 miles per hour plus. So we have a 30 winds chances of seeing, probability of seeing at each location 35 to 45, and then another category for 45 to 60, and another category for winds over 60 miles per hour. We do it for hail, for lightning, for tornadoes, and you see at each location listed here, this is the time frame we're looking at for each to come in. So somebody asked about for Berks County timing. That is right here. You just go to the writing area. We have between 6 and 9. Okay, that's your timing for there. So if you want to look at the timing, please go there on my Twitter page. If you're not following me on Twitter, please do. I put out some very good information that you will not see on Facebook. If you're a Facebook follower, you'll get the daily information we send out, but it's not going to be as updated like this or what we do with the live streams. Okay, just so you understand how that particular thing works. I don't have my storm chasers. If you are just joining on, we lost their feed, and Kaylee says they are at the interchange of Route 15 and Route 581. Okay, I don't have the markers on here, do I? So they're in the Camp Hill area. I know that's where that is. That's right here. So they're not in it yet. Okay, they are in a good position to receive this line. Now, this line here is not as strong as what's farther north, but they probably won't have enough time to go that far north to intercept anything up here in Northeast PA, because it's by the time it's there, by the time it gets up there, they're going to be well behind it. So they're best just standing where they are right now, or staying where they are to intercept that, and hopefully they'll have some good images for me to share with you from my Twitter page. Alex, I did see your shelf cloud photos. I had that on there when I first started the video. You probably weren't on yet. See if I can get that. Give me a second. I'm gonna get that back up because those are some pretty good pictures. All right, where are you? There you go. Okay. Okay. I'll show that again, Alex, because these are some pretty nice pictures you had here of the shelf cloud, and that is here. This is a move through State College. I can only do the thumbnails here because if I try to make this any bigger, it's gonna. Oh, there you go. So yeah, that's some pretty good shelf clouds that he had pictures of there. So those are beautiful. If you see something like this coming out to you, do not stand outside and take pictures. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's well versed in meteorology, so he was at a safe distance. Our drone pilots like to fly in this too. I think Ray is crazy. Our drone pilot Ray Leichner. Love the guy to death, but he's crazy. So is Mike. You guys flying these, and Josh, you guys flying into these storms, you're asking for trouble. Asking for trouble. Not something I would do. I'll leave that to you guys. That's why I don't do storm chasing. I understand Ryan Hall does, though. He does storm chasing, too, and he loves doing that. We did a little bit of chasing here. Chasing, if you will. We just drove up the Poconos one day to try to intercept a line, but didn't really didn't do too much. I'm getting too old for the storm chasing thing. So I'm just going to let it up to the guys that are younger and a little bit better at that than me. That's not me. Okay, so again, all severe thunderstorm warnings right now. These are not tornado warnings. Severe thunderstorm warnings are all up in Northeast PA. And just to take another look at these to see what we're dealing with there. Still have this Boeing line that is now moving through Wyoming County and northwestern portions of Luzerne County. That is going to move up to the northern half of the Lackawanna area. It might clip northern Lackawanna here with a southern tail here. The bulk of this is going to move up through the same areas that already got hit with this first line, which is over Susquehanna County. So that's going to be moving out of here. And as soon as it does, we'll be able to focus more on these the southern part of the line, which I think is going to be taking over as the main show with time. Gusts creeping past 36 miles per hour in Macungie. My buddy Mike just reported that from Macungie. That's, and yes, Ray says I'm not that much younger. 36 mile per hour gusts. This is all ahead of that line. So we have some pretty strong southerly wind flow that was expected throughout the day. And I talked about this in the morning video. You don't have to be in these storms yet. They have some really wicked wind gusts coming in here with these winds coming in from the south through the region well ahead of this line. Once this line moves through, you can have the higher potential for a shorter duration with the gust front of the thunderstorms. But we had a long duration event here of some wind gusts, and that's going to continue. This little tool I'm using here, by the way, is called, all right, you don't even see it. I'm not on the right page. Good Lord. This is part of the kinks I was talking about. There we go. There we go. Okay, so the only thing I see right now, let me try that again since I missed that whole, I just wasted 30 seconds or a minute of your life. These are the only two shows we have in town. Is over Susquehanna County, about to move into New York State. That's not my area. Another one trailing it, heading toward Wyoming County, northwestern and northern portions of Luzerne County, maybe eventually northern Lackawanna County, as this heads rapidly northeast. You can see that here. It's moving off to the northeast pretty rapidly. Once that does so, we're going to be focused mainly on this line down here. It's getting a little bit better organized coming into the Harrisburg area. So if you were in Harrisburg, you got about another, well, give me a second. See, they're all moving southwest and northeast, but the lines itself is only creeping toward you. So maybe another 45 minutes or so. Okay. 45 mile per hour gust in Quakertown. Holy crap. Yeah, that's all that wind that was pushing ahead of this. This is all this southerly wind flow coming out ahead of this. This was with the low-level jet today that I talked about. The low-level jet is now moving to the east and away from the region, so we should have an improvement in that regard. Okay. And I can watch you in line. Yeah, Ryan is much better at this. Ryan Hall actually pioneered this idea, and I saw these the videos he does, the live streams. And he does an incredible job. He has all kinds of things popping up, warnings and things like that. He actually suggested the Radar Omega app, which I already had the other two radars to use in a live stream anyway. I was planning on doing a live stream on my own, but it wasn't going to be as nice until I saw what he did and the things he's able to do with OBS Studio. Now, it looks goofy up top here next to me in this video here because that's where I had my Storm Chasers, and the Storm Chasers lost the feed. So they need to upgrade their software for me to, they worked for like 15, 20 minutes and then cut out. They got to upgrade their stuff. Okay. So this down here, we're going to keep an eye on. There's a special weather statement that's issued for this area if it expires. Oh, there we go. Another warning just popped up. You just saw that. That warning is for the Sunbury area. So the northern part of this line, again, getting better organized. And so this Sunbury, by the way, is Snyder County. Right? No, that's Northumberland County. I'm sorry. So they're in Middleburg is where it's going through right now. That is in Snyder County, I think. Selinsgrove, going through Selinsgrove right now, or just about to hit there in Selinsgrove. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with this storm since they just issued the severe thunderstorm warning. And yeah, you got some pretty good gusts along that. I'm going to go to a different radar view. Nope, not that one. Let's go over to this one. And I'm going to change this back to State College because we're still in range of that. Get rid of this. Okay, so we'll see what kind of winds we got with this. Yeah, we got some. It doesn't look like we're severe there, but we're getting close. So the whole idea here is a lot of times people ask me why is the radar only showing wind gusts of 53 miles per hour, which is the highest I can find here, by the way. There's a 54 in there too. Why are they issuing a severe thunderstorm warning if the winds are not shown on radar to be above 54 miles per hour? That doesn't meet the criteria. Well, the idea here is this is a developing storm, so yes, it might not be near Kratzerville, where this is shown to be right now. It might not be reaching those speeds. But as this moves north and east, the idea there is that it has the potential to increase. So the National Weather Service knows what they're doing. They're very good at what they're doing. And they are, sometimes they'll issue these downstream and the warnings out ahead of it, trying to see, giving it the option to, I can't spit anything out here. They're going to give it the opportunity to develop further and strengthen further, and that's why you're warning people downstream. Sometimes they fizzle, sometimes they fall apart. That's what happens, but at least you're prepared for it. The National Weather Service doesn't care if it missed your house. It really doesn't. They don't care. What they care about is warning the public for the severe thunderstorm warnings that they put out, and this is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It is radar indicated. They expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Okay? So that's what a 60-mile-per-hour wind can do for you. Further south here, I don't see anything that is really strong to that level yet. This is the State College radar. What am I doing? So you can see further south, you got a little bit of a gust front near Shippensburg, but this is not strong enough to issue warnings. So you got some wind gusts here in the 30s, 40s. I mean, it's strong. Here's another one down here that was just issued. This is south of the Mason-Dixon line. So there are parts of that line south of here that are also producing strong winds, and you can see that here. There's some wind gusts that are above 55 there for that warning. That was from the National Weather Service, I believe, in Baltimore or the D.C. area that issued that. Just so you get an idea of what we do. They have different forecast offices that will handle certain areas, and we have right now the State College radar loaded here. Okay. And you can see the worst part of these lines are, you got a little notch right here. So as this moves off north and east, this stuff down here will eventually get areas like York, Lancaster, Reading, Allentown. It'll get up in those areas eventually. Right now the focus is across northeast PA and north central, northeast PA basically. And I'll zoom out on this too and move this over to a reflectivity radar so you can see that. Now remember, this one here had a little bit of a bow to it before. This is no longer bowing. This is heading into the Sunbury area right now. This is let's time this out here, shall we? Since this is the new warning. Let's see where this is going. First of all, get. There we go. Okay. First of all, let me see the context of the warning. Again, I'm cheating here because I'm buying myself. So I'm not going to figure out. I could figure out how fast these are moving, but I don't want to do that. It's just going to take up too much time. Moving northeast at 50 miles per hour with this particular cell. So that is very helpful. So when I go in here and put a storm track on this, it's going to go right towards the Bloomsburg area, right? Do a storm track northeast towards Bloomsburg. And they said it is moving 50 miles per hour. So this is not going to take too long to get there. So within that area, it looks like Bloomsburg is going to get it in 26 minutes from current path. Sunbury, you're getting it now. It says 2 minutes, but that is that is moving there right now. Okay, so Riverside, Snydertown, you're going to get there too. Let me get those two locations. Riverside's 13 minutes. Where's Snydertown? Did I miss it? I may have missed it. Is it not listed? Okay, guess it's not listed. I guess it's just outside the azimuth there. Okay, either way, it's heading in that general direction. You can see where this is moving, putting this in motion, heading right in this general direction. I think Bloomsburg's in for a direct hit there. So this is straight line wind damage. This is not tornadic at all. And it's not just because they didn't put a warning up on it. And good for them, by the way. They held off. For this one that I was talking about in the stream about 45 minutes ago, that was all the way down here in Franklin County, is now all the way up here. 45 minutes. It went from down in this area, just northwest of Chambersburg, is now all the way up here. So that's one heck of a movement. It's moving quick, but good for them. They were no doubt following the rotation that was with that storm that I saw, and they saw it too. If I can see it, they can see it. And I'm sure they were all over top of it. But it looked very broad and very weak, so it wasn't enough to issue a warning, and they held off, and then it kind of went away, all right, and became more unidirectional wind. Okay? Looks like our troll's gone, and I was able to effectively block him. So I apologize for that mess there on the feed that from that one guy there. Again, I'm doing this by myself, so I didn't see it right away, and so now I'll be able to see these the comments as they're coming in. That just passed me in Dunshore, PA, heading towards. Okay, yeah, she's talking about Joanne. You're talking about this one up here. So Joanne is in Dunshore. And I know that she interacts with me on Twitter a lot. But you can see this particular cell as I move this over to the Binghamton radar. We have to do that because it's the Northeast PA region now. So this is... Ashley, I'll get to your question in a second. So that's an important thing. I want to get to that. So this is looking at... this is that big bow here that I was talking about. Right? So that just moved through the Dunshore area, which is right here. That's right there. So it already moved through there. Is now heading up toward, it's moving through Wyoming County. So that's in Sullivan County where she is. And then it moved northeast now to Wyoming County. It is now going to be heading towards Susquehanna very shortly. Okay? So that's what we're doing there. That's one she's talking about. There's another severe cell up here that looks like it's lost. It's really up further. That's moving out of our area now. It's still under a warning there, but I think you're settling down up there in that region. And because this one here, hold on. Because this storm moved through this Susquehanna County region first, when the second one moves in behind it, probably won't be as strong. Okay? The areas that did not get into anything the first time, like, across Luzerne, Lackawanna County, then it can still be strong there. And that's just because the first storm kind of zaps the atmosphere. It doesn't mean you're not going to get lightning, heavy rain, some gusty winds, but probably not severe at that point, just because this one kind of nuked the atmosphere a little bit. But that will be very quickly, probably another 30 minutes or so, that's going to be out of PA. And our focus then is going to be on the southern part of this line. We're already starting to see a shift in that best... the best areas down here. We're starting to see that. I have to watch this area around Newport a little bit. Doesn't look too bad right now, but there is the potential that any time that these can get a little bit stronger. Okay? Current severe thunderstorm warning is near the Selinsgrove area, Sunbury area. It's got some strong winds around there. It doesn't look like they're quite severe, but again, they issue these warnings in anticipation of them possibly getting worse. Okay? So you're getting wind gusts there 40 to 50 plus. That's still strong enough. So that's what that warning's for. This part down here doesn't look like it's too bad just yet. Again, these guys are in the Harrisburg area. Shane is live. Okay. Oh, why didn't you text me, Shane? Ray, is he live on Twitter? Let me know. He's supposed to text me that. Little whippersnapper. Shane is a junior at Millersville University, and he is... part of the meteorology program. We're live on Twitter. Embed that stuff. Shane. Okay. Shane's on somebody else. Okay. Let me go to his Twitter. Are you on your own personal? Or are you on Ryan's? Or are you on the tilting? Where do you on? Millersville? Did you already tag me? You probably did. You sure did. Okay, never mind. I got it. Okay. I got you, Shane. Yeah, kids, right. So Shane will be a meteorologist in about a year and a half, which is fantastic. Along with several of his friends, they're out chasing right now. Yes, Shane, I got you. Hold on. Now he's texting me. Now he texts me. Okay, so this is my kid. Chip off the old block. Except the difference when Shane with Shane and Ryan is I kind of did everything kind of backwards. When I went to the military first, did aviation meteorology, aviation weather in the military, and then went to school. These guys are going to school and looking like they're going to be doing some postgraduate work as well. But they have the tilting project, which is part of this. They're going out chasing right now. So this is the Millersville team. This is his team specifically that is chasing. So when you see where he shows team tilting here, he's talking about that that's their team at Millersville. And this is a sponsorable project that they have. So if you can donate to that, that would be helpful for their research. So this is for, okay, they're going to be doing it says their first official balloon. They're doing a balloon launch. They're waving. Hi, guys. Let me see if I get them on here. Hold on. Can I get audio?
Part of this.
They're windy there. I can hear myself. You guys can hear me. Go ahead and talk. This is for, okay, they're going to be doing
We'll also do live research of the balloon launch.
So this is for, okay, they're going to be doing this is the first
We'll have about 15 minutes to...
Let me see if I get them. Okay, so I'm going to give you some background here and turn this down because we're just going to look at what they're doing because I'm getting a lot of background noise there from their. It's very windy, obviously, ahead of this line where they're at. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get the sound. We will get this. You guys can hear me. Go ahead and talk. And I see there's also delay here. I just heard myself what I just said 30 seconds ago. Okay, so I'm going to mute them down just so they'll understand that I can't do that because you have too much wind going on right now and you can't hear. And my everybody watching the live stream is probably not going to hear it anyway. Okay, so these are the kinks I have to work out. I told you it was going to be a work in progress. Looks like they have a nice shelf cloud they're looking at there off in the distance. They're actually describing what that is right now. I can tell you that's what he's doing. And he's showing behind ahead of the storm a little bit of clearing. You can also see those clouds are moving pretty fast, from what I can tell. So you can see some pretty fast shear right now. So the shear values are very high, and I can see that just by how fast those clouds are moving. So when we see those clouds racing, that's what they're doing. It looks like they're just they're out chasing this right now. I'm not sure if they're doing a balloon drop with this. If you want to, oh, never mind. So you can see the shelf cloud there. It's off to their west. And it's a pretty decent looking shelf cloud. So where they are, Shane, if you can tell me where you're at, that would be helpful. You can text me. I don't care. I have my phone somewhere. Where's it at? If you want to text me and give me your exact location so I can relay that, that'll be great. And then I'll pinpoint on the map of where you are. Okay? I really got to study up on this a little bit. There's got to be a better way. If I would have had their Zoom feed and they had a paid Zoom feed, it would have been a lot better. We had it for the beginning of the video, and then it kind of went away. Debbie, if you go to my Twitter page, I have a proprietary severe weather chart. I mentioned that earlier in the stream. Proprietary severe weather chart that is on there will give timing by area. Okay, it has a breakdown of timing of when you can expect that. Camp Hill Shopping Center. Thank you, Ryan. Okay, so where they are approximately in relation to this storm to the west, they are, where is it? Oh, right here. Oh, wait, no. That's Colonial Park. I'm sorry. He said Camp Hill, didn't he? Yeah, Camp Hill Shopping Center. Okay, so there's Camp Hill right here. See that? That's Camp Hill. That's where they're at, and it's just to the west of Harrisburg, the city. Okay, right? So they're just west of the Schuylkill River there. This is what they're looking at. When they look at that shelf cloud, they're looking at this, and that's associated with this particular line coming in at them now. But the problem with this is they're going to be staying there a while. You guys are going to be staying there a while. because this line is not advancing to the east very fast. The storms moving along this boundary are hauling. They are hauling ass along this boundary by a good 35, 40, maybe even higher than that miles per hour, okay? Oh, I got to switch the screen. Thanks, Josh. Ay, ay, ay. Get this right one day. So where they are, let's do this again. They are in the Camp Hill area, which is right here. See that where it says Camp Hill? Right in the middle. They are right down here in the Camp Hill Shopping Center. So in relation to this gust front, the gust front that they are seeing is right back here. He's texting me. Shane, you can call me, but I think because of the wind in the background, we're going to have the same problem with the background noise, and it's just going to be overwhelming, period. All right, so... Okay, so this is what they're looking at when they're looking at that shelf cloud to the west here, but this is all hauling to the northeast, 35 plus miles per hour, 35 to 45 miles per hour, in some cases 50 miles per hour. So these cells, individual cells, are not making a direct west-east path. This entire line as a whole is, but I would think if they're going to get hit by something in that Camp Hill, Harrisburg area, it's not going to be what from they're looking at all. Actually, I can tell you it's not going to be. What they have to watch for is this little bugger here just west of Chambersburg that is heading in that general direction. Okay? That's going to take a little while to get there, by about 30 minutes or so. So I think that's what we'll have. Okay. You can see this other severe thunderstorm warning is still continuing up here. It does not look too ominous, but there are other parts of this line that are getting worse. Let me just make sure this is all linear. The special weather statement here, I'm sure, is for 50 mile per hour winds, but let me just check that. That's where that one just west of Chambersburg. I'm getting a lot of flood advisories on my phone here popping up. 50 miles per hour nickel-size hail. Okay, so that's not enough to issue a severe thunderstorm warning yet in the minds of the National Weather Service and State College. Again, we are still in the State College area right now. So just to go back to the Twitter feed and see what we're looking at there. That's what they're looking at. So this is very indicative of what you'll see as these storms move in. But these storms are moving southwest and northeast, so unless they're not going to get anything. They're not going to get anything from that. They're actually going to get rained on before they have any storms moving in from this cluster that I showed you in southwestern Pennsylvania. Or not southwestern Pennsylvania, southern Pennsylvania. Heading into Chambersburg right now. Okay, so going back to this is the area I'm talking about. They are up here where my little mouse thing is right there. They're right up in that area. Okay, so they got a while till they get into it. They may actually get rained on with this stuff, and it probably will, which is just, that says rain out in front of it. There are no storms with that. There's no lightning with that. There's actually no lightning with this particular cell down here well, actually there is. One just popped up. There's a little bit there, but this is just rain moving ahead of it. I mean, moving ahead of the stream. I'm not sure what they're doing. Josh said, Josh, you have a good point there. He says as soon as the storms move into civilization, they have a better shot at getting warned. Yeah, that's true. This is all a sparse area, so we'll see. Okay. Is there any way to see if there's hail on the radars? Yes, there is. You just have to go through what's called a correlation coefficient, and that will give you hail signatures. So with this particular one that's west of Chambersburg, I would bet that is producing hail there. Okay. There's also, if there's actual reports of hail or radar indicated hail on the GR2, which is with this cell right down here. I just had it. I saw it. And it disappeared. It usually tells me. But if it is, it's going to be like very small, probably penny size, dime size, that kind of thing. There's some hail with this up in the stuff that's further north. All right, let me see what these guys are doing on Twitter, because I don't... See if I can get a... See if I can hear them. Nope, too much wind. So I can't get them. That's my kid right there, and with the hat on. And it looks like he's doing something with the equipment that they're about to launch in the balloon here. Ryan was just in the video a minute ago. I'm not sure where he went. I really wish I could hear him. So this is their entire team that's out there chasing. So and you can follow this on Twitter too if you wanted to. Some of the non-technical equipment. But this is, anyway, if you're looking for hail, this area in Chambersburg will probably be a candidate right now for that. You can see some other bright spots here where there could be some hail there too. I don't see any current indications of any rotation anywhere. Oops. So that's a good thing. We were talking about possibly having tornadoes today, isolated as they may be, but there is still a possibility for that. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to go back to them in a minute. Okay, so we got, it looks to me like that everything is unidirectional so far. I don't see any signs of anything rotating. Sometimes people confuse this stuff here too. This is not a tight couplet, folks. I know you have green here. This is just inflow toward the radar. And the red is going to be, and the oranges are going to be away from the radar. Okay, so that's all that is. Before, in front of any thunderstorm, you have an inflow coming into it. So unless these are, you have a tight couplet, which none of these are. And I showed one earlier that had a pretty good rotation to it, but it never apparently produced anything. And we get up in Northeast PA. This is that last line. I wanted to cover that too. Change the radar site. This is the last line now moving into Susquehanna County. You can see it has significantly weakened. Okay, so northern, actually the area around Clark Summit right now probably has the strongest winds right there, as you can see. Heading up towards Carbondale, I believe. Liam puts this in motion to see where it's going. Yep. It is in the Clark Summit area. Now, there is a little bit of rotation there, maybe. We'll see. It's not all wrapped all the way around, but there is a real flank downdraft associated with this. So we'll keep an eye on this one. I don't see it being a tornado just yet. It's certainly weak, kind of like that one we had earlier, right? Down in Franklin County. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at this from a storm track measurement. Let me put this in motion first. Okay, so this is going in this direction like this. Okay, and this was the one that was going 50 miles per hour. That's where it was moving. So it's going to very quickly move off to the north and east. In effect, so Carbondale is the next area, the big area, populated area that we have in that path. And again, I'm not sure why, but it's not even listed on here. There it is, 14 minutes. About 14 minutes until that gets to that area. Some stronger winds with that. A little bit of rotation, but nothing really overly exciting for that. The other cell that we were monitoring earlier has now moved into the Binghamton, New York National Weather Service Forecast Office area and out of our area. So we'll go back to State College. I will come back to that one in Northeast. And as far as timing, I think somebody asked me about timing again. What radar are you using? I'm using several. This is Radar Omega. This is the new toy. This is the same one Ryan Hall uses. He uses it a lot better than I do, but I can still move this and navigate this pretty well now that I've had it for a couple of days. I've only had it for about a week. It is fantastic. I also have at my disposal this is a radar scope, so we can do a better job of, I think, checking out the velocities with these particular cells as they move in. So if you have anything spinning, it'll be easier to see on radar scope rather than the Radar Omega. And we also have, if we do have anything spinning, we have the GR2 Analyst is loaded here. These all cost money, some more than others. But here we got thunderstorm wind damage reported here. So far as severe reports, we haven't had a whole lot. Harvey's Lake, hey, what'd I tell you? The area that was not under the severe thunderstorm warning and now has some damage. Tree on wire. Okay, well, it's damage. You got some damage there. Okay, so that area is, we're seeing some damage with that stuff now going through northern Lackawanna County, parts of eastern Susquehanna County, and eventually we'll go through Wayne County, which is this one right here, far northeastern Pennsylvania. Okay, so I have 3 different radars I'm using here that we can play around with, and I use them for different reasons. Hold on, Shane. What do you got here? I am calling on Sam's phone since mine is live stream. Call the number that just called. Talk to me on the live if you want to talk to me on the live stream. Okay, let me see if this is going to work. I guarantee you this is not going to have. It's not going to be it's going to be windy. I'm going to call Shane here, one of the chasers, and go over to the chaser video. Hey, what's up?
Not much. How are you?
Not bad.
Watching some weather balloons.
You're doing what now? Okay, hold on. Let me introduce it. So I'm going to introduce. This is Shane. I'm going to he's on my phone. Woo. So he's going to be talking, and I'm going to go over to the Twitter feed just so you can see what they're doing. So the live feed that they're showing in the background, I want you to just, Shane, if you would, explain where you are and what you're doing exactly with your project. Go ahead.
Awesome. You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. We are from Millersville University, and we are trying to do a larger scale project called tilting. It stands for the Thermodynamic Investigation of LCL Thresholds during Tornado Genesis and its influence in the Northeast and Great Plains regions of the United States. So what we're specifically looking at is we're looking at how QLCSs, which are a fancy term for a line of thunderstorms, we're actually going to be relocating here very shortly because I think we're going to try to get this little cell that's popped up to our south. We're at the Camp Hill Mall just southwest of Harrisburg, and I mean, I'll figure it out in a second. But
hey, Shane. So Shane, you're in Camp Hill now?
Yes, we're in Camp Hill. We're just outside the Boscovs. We're at the Camp Hill Mall. We're right off of the interstate here.
Okay, I would think they just put up a new severe thunderstorm warning, and I'm going to show this to the people that are watching here right now.
Yeah, it's towards south.
This is for the Chambersburg area and areas northeast. So if you're heading southwest intercept that, you probably won't have to go too far. This thing's hauling.
Hey, Shane. Shane's on. All right, cool. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. So it's moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. I'm going to get you a distance and timing for you, okay?
Sounds good to me.
So hang tight. Let me do this for you. So this is the cell.
Live stream going through the car as well.
We're going to Camp Hill, right to Harrisburg. How about that? And this is moving at 40 miles per hour. So we're gonna move this and see how far it gets to you.
Sounds good.
Okay, so from where you're at now, I would imagine it'd be down here. Camp Hill it says an hour, but I think it's gonna be less than that. Usually this overestimates. So at 40 miles per hour, it says it's an hour away. So you probably, if you're gonna move southwest toward it, maybe along. Looks like your best bet is along 81. If you're on 81. South, you will run right into it. That's probably the juiciest part of that storm.
Are you talking about the QLCS? Or you're talking about the little disturbance out ahead of it?
What little disturbance out ahead of it? You talking about that rain? The rain that's out ahead of it? That's nothing.
I figured.
No, that's nothing.
I
They're
check radar in about 30 minutes.
No. That's just an area of stable showers. There's nothing. So your storm. So if you're watching the live stream, I'd be able to point it to you. But yeah, it's down by. It's down by Chambersburg right now.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, we're probably going to head down south on I-81.
If you're heading to Dickinson, you'll probably run right into there. It looks like there's a gust front with it. It is linear. Let me move over to a different radar and see what we got. Hold on. Oops, that's not it. I don't want to see that.
All right, well, if you're looking at the live stream, we're just hand over to what looks to be really awesome cuts. I'm not going to go too far technical here, so I'll let you do that.
Yeah, let's see.
I'll
You
take
got
your show. I'll own it.
right now. It only has the gust front has about 35 to 45, so it's not a tremendous amount yet, but it looks like it's strengthening.
Awesome, sounds good. We get ready to go.
Josh Adams says that Carlisle's like 25 minutes from you, so it's a good place to go right now.
All right, cool. That's where we're going to get ready to go for our next balloon launch.
Okay.
We're going to be leaving Camp Hill very shortly. So.
Okay, sounds good. I have to go, Shane. I got a tornado warning up in northeast PA.
All right, I'll just call me. I'll text you the number to call on.
Okay, See ya. Okay, so while we were on that stream there, I'm going to move this over to the new tornado warning that was issued. And this is for that cell we were looking at earlier that is heading toward the Carbondale area. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this, and I'm going to change the radar to Binghamton because it's going to be a better look at it. And yes, there you go. Okay. This is good. This is a legitimate tornado rotation, and you definitely need a warning with this. Why? And this is now pay attention to this if you're looking at these radars and trying to figure out what to look for. Yes, we have all up and down this line. You have the green meeting the red, but look, see how it's turning here. See this? That is the rear flank downdraft, and then coming into it is your inflow, like this. So if you have a tornado, it's going to be right in here, and that is heading generally toward just north of the Carbondale area towards Forest City right now, okay? So if you are in that area, you need to take the warning seriously. Do not assume that it's just going to be a funnel. Do not grab your camera and walk out on your back porch to take a look at this and look at the clouds and stargaze. Take the warning seriously. This warning is for... Oh, I'm just going to go to a different vantage point. We're going back to the old radar. I'm going to go up to... because this one will give you a better look. This is zoom, the Radar Omega. And look at that. That is some pretty solid rotation. That is not weak rotation, folks. That is legitimate in here. And you can see the rear flank downdraft curving in around by Clark's Summit. So the areas in the path of this, as I move this forward, and good job by Binghamton staying. See that when we were looking at this before, I said, oh, there's some rotation there. Well, it got worse. Okay, a little tighter here. So that is generally heading in the general direction of Carbondale, between Carbondale and Forest City. So we're gonna map this out, see what places are possibly in the path of this potential tornado. Again, it's a potential tornado; it's not guaranteed, but you have to treat it as if it is. All right, and I want to see the movement on this quick. It is moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. All right. So we're gonna take a look at this and Okay, there we go. So if you had a tornado, it's going to be right in here. Right in there is where your tornado would be, okay? So we're going to draw this going forward just so you can see where it's headed to. It's going to be heading kind of split in these two areas right there, like that. And it says it's moving at 50 miles per hour. No snow coming. Come on now. No snow. We're done with snow. So Carbondale, you have 6 minutes. You need to get your safe space. Wherever that is in Carbondale. That means go to the lowest floor of your home, interior room if possible. Cover yourself with something that, like a mattress, you can do that with. I mean, some people think that's stupid or it's funny or whatever. It's not. If you have, I think Ryan mentioned yesterday, if you have your kids have bicycle helmets, put them on, because the biggest threat from anything in a tornado is going to be from flying debris. Okay, not from the tornado direct hit itself. You don't even have to get hit by the tornado, and you have debris flying around that could seriously injure you or kill you. Okay, that's the biggest threat in a tornado, and these are areas we're dealing with right here. So the tornado, if it occurred, would be right in here, and this is what we have downstream from that. So places like Forest City are in the line for that. Carbondale, we got Simpson, Coggins Corner, Waymart, not Walmart, Waymart. Okay. So these are some of the places downstream. We're going to continue to watch that. So I'm going to stay on this tornado warning here just to see what it does, because I mean we have some things elsewhere, but this is not as the other things that are out there are not as important as the tornado warning right now. We have several other severe thunderstorm warnings, including the ones our chasers are going, or they're going to be heading toward south on I-81 toward Dickinson. We'll join up with them later, but I want to keep focused on this right here, which seems to be the most impressive thing on the radar right now. Now, I will say, when we were looking at this earlier, as I put this in motion, this looked like it was a little bit better organized initially, right there. You see the little white there pop up? It was a little disjointed, but a little bit better organized. And the last couple frames here are now showing a little bit flatter and more broader rotation. So this is good. Does not mean you're out of the woods. Take all of those warnings seriously, but what you're looking for is a CC drop. This is a correlation coefficient drop, and I bet you're not going to see it right now. No. So I wish I had something to show you. I don't wish there was another tornado. I don't want to take this the wrong way. There could be some hail with that, and it looks like there is in the southeastern part of that. but I don't see evidence of a tornado touching down. There could just be just the rotation with it, and that's it. And it looks like if the rotation is going to be anywhere, it's going to be right in here, which is right in this area. So I know they have this up here under the warning also, but it's not really heading in that direction there. It's kind of heading toward Carbondale. And Carbondale, you have about 4 minutes. If that. Get somewhere now, and just don't assume that it's going to miss. I don't see evidence of it touching down yet, but that doesn't mean it can't at any moment. All right? You got to take these seriously. Let me take the GR. I'm going to take the GR2 radar here because we have a tornado warning. Now, like I said, the tornado warnings are different. They're going to show up in purple here on this radar. And I got to change the site here to Binghamton. And we're going to go into this. I'm on. There we go. Okay. So this is the radar we're looking at. And it's right in here. Okay, so we're going to look at this area right in here. Okay, again, this is low top convection, but your LCL heights, or your LCL is pretty low to the ground, and that is all you need for a tornado. So it is possible with a lower cloud base. Yep, there is rotation there. This does look like broad rotation is not really tight. If you do see something pop here, it is more likely going to be a weaker end tornado, but you can't take that for granted, thinking that's the way it's going to be. But there is some rotation just above it. It's going to be hard to see. See that? So this looks very broad. The rotation here looks very broad to me. So, you know, it's might have been tighter a little bit before that, but I don't see any evidence right now of this producing a tornado, and there's no CC drop here. So when I say a CC drop, you're going to see some blues pop up on here. See that little color blue there? That's not it, but I'm just saying you'd have a circular area on here that would be, if there was one here, it would be kind of like popping like that. Now this area around German down here, we'll have to watch that. That's on the southeastern part of that area, so they don't have anything for that in that particular region yet, but I want to watch. Okay, let me zoom in on this too, in this particular area, see what we got. See what kind of rotation we got there. Okay, a lot more rotation in that area. Okay, and some of you might be wondering, well, why isn't the rotation extended to the ground? The radar shoots a beam at a certain height out away from the radar. It can't see below this area. So you're going to start here in this particular case about 5,000 feet above the ground and see any rotation that you have above that. So we might miss these because this is low-level convection, but there is certainly rotation with this that we can see. So this area is the area I'm going to be watching for most prominently, but it still looks to me like it's pretty broad, okay? So as long as it stays broad, that's good. If we get a real tight couplet in here, like it showed maybe a few frames ago, that's when you can have your tornadoes. By the way, this is getting ready to move into Wayne County, okay? Carbondale is in far northeastern Lackawanna County. This is moving into Wayne County very shortly. And then once it's out of that area, that will be hopefully not a problem for New York, but it will be something that I will stop at that point from covering. I got to wait on these new radar scans. They take about every 3 minutes they'll come in. But I just want to check in on these ones down here. Looks like they still have a severe thunderstorm warning for some of these out here. The broader scale thing here is a severe thunderstorm warning, and that tornado warning is embedded within that. Further south, I don't see any evidence of anything severe currently in this particular warning, which will cover northern Dauphin County. And this is going to cover the western part of Schuylkill County and also far southern Northumberland County, far southern Columbia County. Still some strong winds with that. It looks like it's mostly 40 to 50 miles per hour. The one that's a little bit more, has a little bit organization to it, is this one. And again, it looks like you're running into, as this is heading toward the Carlisle area where Josh told them to go, and I think they're heading that direction. He just texted me. Hold on. We'll call from inside the car to reduce noise when you're ready to call. Okay. Well, Hey, Shane, I'll call you in a minute. I'm still going over this tornado warning and severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, so they're heading down in this general direction. There is some pretty strong winds with that as well. It doesn't look like it's anything crazy yet, but there is no couplet here. But we'll watch that if that has any rotation with it. That might be something to keep an eye on. Again, we have an area of potential for tornadoes today, but it's not that great. It never was, okay? But there always is the opportunity for severe weather to occur in a severe thunderstorm. And you don't have to have a tornado watch in order to have tornadoes within severe thunderstorms themselves, okay? The reason they did that is because they felt that the wind threat was the greatest. That's going to be the greatest threat today. So I agree with them on that in that regard. And why am I not seeing what I'm trying? Okay, on the right radar. Okay. I want to take a look at the velocity of this one here. Again, this is over the Carbondale area. They might need to move this down a little bit if this still keeps going. And again, this is very broad rotation. So this looks more like linear at this point. The tornado warning, take seriously just in case. You never can be too safe with this. But it doesn't look like there's anything tight here that I'm seeing. If it would be here, it would be right near Carbondale right now. That's going to be heading up to Coggins Corner, Aidenville, Creamton, Tanner's Falls eventually. And Waymart. So keep a close eye on that. Keep a close eye on this in particular. That's what we're the one we're most concerned about presently. Whenever you're free, doesn't need me right now. Okay, cool. When you guys are ready, let me know. Send me a text. I'm talking to Shane here, so we'll see if we got anything new with that. So taking a look, I'm going to go back to the reflectivity here, just to show you what we're looking at. So the entire line is not producing severe weather. Just portions along this line are, and that was kind of what we expected there. It'll be interesting to see what this junky showers that it's moving out in front of the storms, if it's going to have any effect on it. I mean, we are seeing some bowing to that line a little bit, just east of Chambersburg, heading toward the area they're heading toward right now. Okay, the strongest, and that's under a severe thunderstorm warning. The strongest part of that storm that they are heading to, well, it's really the whole thing. Really, the whole thing. So hopefully they're going to run into it very shortly, it looks like. And when they do... Okay, he says he's ready. Let me give him a call back and go over to their Twitter. Okay, let me go back here for a minute. I'll get back to him in a second. Go over to the Mount Holly radar, see nothing going out in front of here. Okay. Some of you are mentioning that it's getting dark further east. All right. And this is just showers. There's nothing stormy out with this. The clouds might look ominous, but this line, if you will, as they move this forward, that's lifting off to the north, is just showers. Okay. That has no bearing on these. It may end up weakening them eventually, but there are just some showers moving through. So that'll move through the Lehigh Valley over the next 30 minutes or so. And then you got some showers moving through Lebanon County, Harrisburg, over to Berks County right now. Ashley, no, that's not severe. So what you're seeing in that future radar for Monroe County is going to be this. And that is not severe stuff. Not yet. The stuff behind that is what we're looking at for severe. Okay. Oh, he says I'm ready. Okay. All right, let me call him back. We're going to call Shane back. They're in the car. It's getting... Yo, what's going on with your Twitter feed? Are you chasing something now or what?
Yeah. Can you see us or no?
I can see, yeah, there's somebody in the back seat like flipping the camera all 50 million directions.
Yeah, our little thing just died that was holding it, and Phil's holding it right here.
Oh.
So now we're going handheld.
Okay, you're on the live stream, so I want you to tell everybody where you're going and what you're trying to intercept.
All right, here, Kyle. Take it away. Where are we going and what are we trying to intercept?
We are trying to intercept this first cell right here, this discrete cell that's out ahead of the main QLCS line back here crossing I-81 right now. So we're going to try to intercept this discrete zone. We're kind of under it right now. We may try to do that, or we may wait for this severe warned line that's still off to our west along I-81.
Yeah, I
a
think
lot of lightning in that line. There's no lightning in this discrete cellular convection at this point, but there's a lot of lightning in that squall line just to our west. So that suggests to me that that's where the stronger wind gusts, more severe weather is going to be located in that line.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now, and it looks like it's continuing to get a little bit stronger as it's moving toward you. We're on. Are you at Carlisle yet, or not yet?
No, we're still close to Harrisburg. We're just south of the Route 15 I-81 interchange. We're just off the Harrisburg Mall.
Okay.
Yeah, we're basically in Lower Allen Township, just a little bit to the west of that. Allen Township.
Okay, and you're getting rain there now, right? That's just
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's just moderate rain here right now.
Okay.
It looks like wind gusts to about 20 miles per hour. No thunder, no lightning yet, but again, we are still about roughly 20 to 30 miles east of the main squall line.
So you said you're I-81 and what was the other highway? 15?
Yeah, I-81 and Route 15.
Okay, so there's Route 15.
Yeah, we're just off Route 15, actually, west of I-83. Near a town called Shiremanstown.
I'm trying to find this. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So we're right in the middle there. Okay. So you guys are.
We're just southwest of Center City, Harrisburg.
Yeah, I see that now. I thought you were further down the road already. That spot. Well, I was looking in the wrong spot.
Yeah, we're kind of waiting here right now, just because it looks like we're in a good area. And this squall line does seem to be strengthening as it's coming farther east. So
yeah,
I'm kind of having us hold our position right now. And again, there is a severe thunderstorm warning just to our west.
Yep.
Carlisle, Dickinson, Shippensburg, Chambersburg, all under a warning right now.
Okay. Yeah, you're looking at. Oh, you got the radar scope up there. I see on the.
Yep.
There is a little bit, and when you get by Dickinson, it's not. There's a little bit of elevated rotation. It's very broad, though, very weak and very broad. But that's the only area that's really. I mean, there's a gust front along with it. It looks like I got winds that are. Let's see. Wind gusts along the gust front are generally 45 or so. So they may have just issued just in anticipation of it getting worse. But it doesn't look like it's crazy yet, but it certainly can change very quickly. How much of this do you think is going to be mitigated or at least weakened by the stuff out ahead of it here, this shower activity?
Yeah, I don't think it'll weaken immediately from the shower activity right out ahead of it. Although I do fear that once the sun goes down, we start to lose some of the limited cape, and the instability that we do have, thermodynamic instability. I fear that some of this might start weakening significantly, once we get east of I-83 over toward, the Lehigh Valley. I fear that some of this will weaken by the time it gets toward Allentown, Nazareth, and Easton. Yeah,
I think so too. It's looking like they're Eastern Poconos. I mean, they could be still strong, but not. It doesn't look like it's. They actually had a legitimate. At least illegitimate that they should have issued it, but the tornado warning they had up there by Carbondale, but it's lost. That's lost its rotation too.
Right.
I was trying to explain that to people too, that you have when you have a QLCS, they usually don't last too long along that line. They kind of pop up, go away, and that's kind of what this is doing.
Right, yeah, there's short, brief spin-ups along the QLCS line. It's not where you're going to get your EF2s, the EF5s.
No.
You'll get your EF0s and EF1s, these brief spin-ups.
Right.
Yeah, I think the issue here is once you get, eastern side of the lower Susquehanna Valley into the Lehigh Valley, like I said, you're going to be losing a lot of your thermodynamic instability. I mean, you've still got the shear, but you're losing the thermodynamics at that point. And also, if you actually took a look at the 500 millibar maps, there was a subtle shortwave out ahead of the broad, large upper level troughing well off to our west. This little shortwave was actually coming up through central Pennsylvania, and I wonder if that was enhancing some of the convection as well.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. These are things you don't catch on a live stream because you're doing 50 million other things.
Right. You gotta believe it, Bobby.
Sure enough, there it is. Okay. All right. Yeah. So we'll touch back with you if you see something when you guys get in position and you see anything that is jumping out of with the the gust front and the shelf cloud or whatever you want to share that at that point, just tell Shane to give me a buzz again.
Sure. Yeah, take a look at the cell that's just south and west of Hagerstown right now. Not really a couplet there, but if you look at that and that severe thunderstorm warning there, maybe there's, a wannabe bit of rotation down there to the south and west of Hagerstown.
Oh, this one here.
I'm just looking at Doppler velocity, yeah. Looks like around Hedgeville, Williamsport, not Williamsport, PA, Williamsport, Maryland.
Are you using the Sterling radar for that, or the?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm using the Sterling radar for that.
Okay, yeah, because I wasn't getting a good reading from State College.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of inbound. And
oh
outbound.
yeah, there it is.
Strong right now, but yeah, I wonder. We'll keep an eye on that, see if it tries to develop any stronger rotation.
Yeah, it still looks disjointed a little bit. The rear flank downdraft's not wrapping all the way around, so it's there, but it's I see what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on right now.
Yeah, because that's going to be crossing into Adams, York, those places with time, so not too long. They're actually hauling pretty fast too. This one's moving.
Yeah. Looks like the line's starting to pick up speed right now. It's moving pretty slow over the mountains, but it's starting to accelerate. It looks like further east.
Yeah, they're hauling along the line. They're just for the forward motion of the lines just really hasn't been in any hurry to move through. But yeah, you're right. It's moving a lot faster.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder if we should stay where we're at or try to intercept that cell that's coming up north and east from Hagerstown, because that looks like that cell is a Boeing segment along the line. I don't know what we should do.
Well, let me see how much time you got here. As this is I keep forgetting how to do this. So this that cell moving toward you is moving northeast at 40. So we'll get a azimuth on this.
Let me do the distance over here.
Oh no, this is. I'm using 58.4
roughly. To that cell from York to the cell's 58.6 miles. And then from where we're at to York, only about 21 miles. So we probably would have time if we want to go for that one.
Yeah, it's saying 36 minutes, northeast at 40, so that's right. Yep.
Yeah, we probably would be able to get out just out ahead of it if we do it now. Or we just stay with the current line, that's over Newville and Shippensburg.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty broad, so you can't miss it.
Right, yep. No way we miss it.
Nope. Okay, we'll touch back with you once you guys get closer. Just tell Shane to give me a buzz.
All right, sounds good, man. All right, thanks, Bobby.
All right, Kyle, take care.
Yeah,
Kyle is not a student. He is a meteorologist, and works as he's one of the professors at Millersville in the program. I'm not sure his exact title. I'll ask him that again when we're back on the call. But he is I believe he has a master's. But regardless. They are chasing down in this area, heading toward Carlisle, but they're not quite there. They're somewhere halfway in between. By the way, when I was on the call there, I was checking on the tornado warning up here, and it looked even broader than it did before. And they have dropped the tornado warning with that. So there is no current active tornado warnings in our entire region. And this particular, let me get back to this radar. There are a couple healthy spots on this particular radar, but that we're going to be watching. One area of interest is down by Chambersburg, up to the Carlisle area, getting ready to head into the Harrisburg area very shortly. The other one is in western Schuylkill County, southern Northumberland County, southern Columbia County. Those are the areas to worry about right there. And this one's going to be scaled back here pretty soon too. It looks like that's going to go away. They're already scaling it back a little bit. That's in northeast PA, and it looks like there's nothing really. You got this stuff running through Wayne County, and that's it. Once that'll be out in the next 15 to 20 minutes, you'll be done in Wayne County with that. So then all the threat areas are going to spread further east. I want to move over to the Mount Holly radar to make sure I'm not missing anything yet here. The only thing that you're seeing on radar in the Mount Holly radar region is just showers. So all of your activity is still on the State College radar back here in Central PA that's of anything that's of concern. And these are all straight line wind damage threats. Okay, so you have wind gusts that are 50 to 60 plus in those. And these warnings, in fact, are showing wind gusts up to 60. This one here is wind gusts up to 60. And this one's up to 60. And that one's up to 60. So we are no longer having the 70 mile per hour wind gusts on any of these, but it doesn't mean they can't continue to strengthen as they move eastward. Now, I was taking a look at the downstream environment there when I was on the call, and I want to go back to that. because there is a little bit more stable of an environment as I go to the SBC feed here. Here is our severe thunderstorm watches, by the way. The most recent one that was issued is on the bottom. Okay. But the environment out ahead of this is not really that great. It's a little, you're losing thermodynamics a little bit because we're getting to, it's now 6:15 p.m. So you're losing some of your punch and your fuel. And I just realized something. Give me a second. There we go. Fix that problem on my green screen. Okay. So the best decape is offshore here. So we're losing some of this. We didn't have a lot of instability to begin with. Okay. But our lapse rates are still pretty high. See that? We got plenty of lapse rate. Lapse rates are still pretty high to produce wind damage, which is basically if you go up in altitude, it's the temperature drop for every kilometer you go up in the atmosphere. Okay, that's your lapse rates. So when they talk about low-level lapse rates, you're talking about below the 850 millibar level, which is 5,000 feet or less, right? Your mid-level, I'm sorry, I think it's under 925. Your mid-level lapse rates are around 850 millibars, and then when you get a little higher than that, up to 700 millibars, then it gets even that we're not really too concerned with. It's usually low and mid-level lapse rates, and they are still decent at this hour. So there will be at least sustainment with this. The problem that we didn't have that we were looking at before, if I look for the wind shear, you still have a lot of bulk shear here. So when Kyle was on the call there, he was talking about the best dynamics cutting off here in eastern Pennsylvania. This is where your best shear is right now, and I'm going to highlight this. Your best shear is not in oh, God bless with this color. Here we go. Your best dynamics are not in an area here. This part here does not have very good dynamics for shear. Areas to the west out here certainly does. A lot of shear to work with in these areas where this line is coming from. Okay, so once it hits that very close to the Delaware River, and not quite to the Delaware River, so maybe when it gets to the Lehigh Valley, it starts. Once it hits there, it ramps down after that point. Once it gets to the eastern Poconos, it starts to ramp down a little bit. Once it heads to New Jersey, ramps down even further. Okay, so because of the amount of shear that's involved here, it's mainly moving just ahead of this squall line right here. That's where your best shear is. As long as that runs out ahead of the line, you'll have the storms continue, but not necessarily be severe as Kyle was talking about. Okay, so some of those thermodynamics are going to be lost once it reaches or gets close to the Delaware River, and because this is observed stuff. This is not some model trying to guess. This is not the high-resolution rapid refresh, if I go to that, which is guessing. I mean, it's giving a pretty good guess, right? But this is guessing of what everything is going to do. This is trying to predict the future. This is not. This is not coming off of. This is not observed data. So what I was showing you from the SBC is actual observed data. So you can't argue with that and say, "Well, I think you're wrong. It's going to last to past the Delaware River." But that's not how it works. Okay, so we're looking at the environment out ahead of this, and in this case, the environment out ahead looks good just ahead of the line, and then that's it. Okay, once you hit the Delaware River, come close to it, it'll start to fizzle a little bit here, it looks like, based on that. Okay, so we'll come back to that later. I want to get back to the radar and take a look at what we're dealing with that. And the tornado warning was up there, went away. And so we're just going to be concentrating on the State College radar for now. Eventually, it will be the National Weather Service in Mount Holly once it crosses into that territory. But it might not be for long. I really don't think this is going to be one of those deals where it goes all the way to the shore. So we're going to have some better events as we go forward in time. This wasn't really a good event, but it's a good event to have a first live stream with, because I wanted to test out some things. We obviously found out there were some bugs involved with this that we have to work out. Not bugs with the system. The system's fine. It's called the stream got messed up in the very beginning. So we'll figure out some things for next time, so we're prepared for it. I plan on doing this on, when the proverbial shit hits the fan days, right? So not on every single minor severe day. We're going to do this on days that it's actually meaningful, and I don't have an obligation myself to private clients. We're going to be starting with the outdoor teams soon, like so the outdoor venues. So our clients we have clients that are year round, and then we have some that are just for a short amount of time. Or in the cases of baseball, we have major and minor league baseball teams that we provide pinpoint forecast for. That's going to be starting next week because guess what? The baseball season starts next week. So that's going to be for the next 6 months. We'll be doing that. We're going to be doing things with outdoor venues like concert venues with Arts Quest and Music Fest. So we'll be getting into all that very shortly. And if it's on a day that I'm the only one that has this high-tech software to do this kind of thing. And the green screen and all this whole setup. It's in my house. And, I have this set up. It's not set up with, maybe down the road we'll have other people set up with it too, but right now that's not I'm the only one that has that. And because of that, it has to be on a day that I'm not busy with those other clients, and I'm not on that day. Today I'm not on. It's not my day on. I have a staff that's working right now behind the scenes, and they're doing that. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the Twitter feed now, just to check in on them. See what they're doing. And this is, unfortunately, I told you guys to send me stuff for damage. But we're going to kind of check in on them and see where they're at. And while they're doing that, I'll be right back. I'm going to take a little, go to the little boys' room. I'll be right back. I'm going to keep the stream going, though. Okay, I'm back. We're still watching their stream here, and I needed that. I was. So Ray's laughing at me because I used the words "little boy's room." Nature calls sometimes. Gotta stay hydrated. I can feel my voice getting scratchy already. God bless Ryan. He was doing these. Ryan Hall. If you don't follow him on YouTube, please give him a follow. That guy is excellent. So he will, but he was talking almost nonstop for 11 and a half hours yesterday. I don't know how he does it. I can talk. I can talk with the best of them, especially when I'm drinking. But I can't drink when I'm on live stream. I don't know how my voice would hold up to that with the hops in the beer. Okay, so just get caught up on the severe thunderstorm warnings. There is still one here in several areas. They are where they were, if they stayed on I-81, and it looks like on their Twitter feed they are now. You're seeing the Storm Chasers Twitter feed right now. That's what we're looking at. These are the Millersville students. I'm trying to figure out where they are. They were heading towards Carlisle. Looks like the strongest part of that storm, though, as I move this over to the main radar. Tower City. Okay. Oh, no. That's somebody else. Just started dumping rain and some gusty winds in Tower City. Okay, that's up north there. Let me see. So these guys are... If they stayed on 81, they're going to run right into this warning. It looked like it consolidated further north, at least that part of the line. There is more coming. It doesn't look like overly concerning to me. I want to check out this particular cell right here near Ashland. Yeah, nothing rotating here. There's no rotation anywhere noted, which is good. No rotation is a good thing. And we usually don't expect a whole lot with a QLCS, but when you get down in a juicy environment like you get down in like last night on Ryan Hall's stream, man, it was down in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and you got dew points that are ridiculous down there. You have mosquitoes the size of birds down there. I mean, it's a ripe environment. I know, what does that have to do with anything? Well, the whole point is you have the more moisture you have content you have the atmosphere, the more fuel you have for those storms. So along that line, it was very impressive to have that many tornadoes along a QLCS, quasi-linear convective system that moved through, which is just a fancy name for a squall line, but it's part of a bigger parent system, obviously. So was this, but you know, I'm not seeing a lot of rotation here now, which is a good thing. So this is just straight line winds. Doesn't look overly exciting to me, and it may be one thing to keep in mind here. This is moving away from the State College radar, right? So I'm going to move this back to precipitation. This is moving away from the State College radar and moving toward the Philadelphia radar. I don't have the terminal radar in view yet. Okay, but we do have Mount Holly's in view, which is starting to come in there. Okay, so you got like an in-between area, like a radar gap or radar zone that gets missed here a little bit. All right, and this is the Mount Holly radar, not showing much other than just heavy rain moving through. I can hear it outside. It's moving through the Lehigh Valley right now in these areas. This is lifting off to the north. Oh, no, what am I doing? This is moving off to the north pretty rapidly ahead of this line. So I think any storms that you get in this area are going to be, if you get something consolidating further south, it's going to be from this mess down here. See that? If that starts heading northeast, eventually you're going to get into this, if this holds together, with nothing out in front of it to abate this. That's going to eventually, since this is moving northeast along that line, get to places like Adams County. Actually, Josh Adams, are you still? Yeah, he's still on the feed. Are you at home right now, or are you in Adams County? Just trying to get an idea. He'll probably be able to give me some spotter reports from there too. Josh runs the Pennsylvania Weather Action page on Facebook and Twitter. Give him a follow too. Great guy. But he's down in this area in Franklin County or Adams County, one of the two. See if he answers me. Okay, but either way, this is going to be moving toward York County, Lancaster. That's when you get Berks involved, maybe Chester, and then points northeast from there. So we will we'll certainly continue to follow this line here too. I plan on keeping this live stream going for maybe another hour and a half or thereabout, and then I have it's crazy. I wasn't going to do this today. I wasn't going to do do this live stream at all until I saw the enhanced risk issued. My wife and children are all going to Kalahari, if you know what that is. That's up in the Poconos here somewhere. So they're all going there, and I am supposed to go with them. So I said I'm going to stay behind. I'm going to drive separately, and I'll meet you up there later. So I will be up there. That is up in the Poconos. I will be going there with them. It's a water park. It's not cheap, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right? 10 hours. You're a trooper. Ryan Hall yesterday was broadcasting for 11 and a half hours. Somebody, Raynell just said that I watched Ryan for 10 hours yesterday. That's crazy. That's dedication. That's true dedication. Is he doing a live stream right now? Does anybody know? Is he live streaming the stuff, or is this probably not big enough for him? I would think. He probably doesn't care about these little rinky-dink stuff when he's dealing with the big daddies they had down south. Josh is in Greencastle. That's right. How did I forget that? I'm drawing a blank now, Josh, so I apologize. So he is in Franklin County in Greencastle. So when if he gets anything out of this, he'll let me know. Oh no, that's back here. You already got it. So just let me know what you got. Oh, you did. Honestly, the winds and the showers ahead of line were just as intense. 50-mile-per-hour gusts at Hagerstown Airport. I also got the weakest part of the line naturally. Of course. All right. Ray says Kalahari is not cheap, and nor is being a cheer dad. His daughter's a cheerleader. Not cheap, all these trips. Okay, so we have 3 active severe thunderstorm warnings. There's nothing actually with this line south of the Mason-Dixon line, which doesn't mean it can't. It's running into a better environment down there, so they can certainly ramp up in those particular areas. But I'm pretty sure I'm still on the State College radar. Yep, there we go. So these areas have basically these areas behind here in this first severe thunderstorm warning is really for this area out by Frackville, moving into Schuylkill County. moving through Schuylkill County. So if you go from Pottsville up to through Shenandoah, Frackville, Ringtown, places like that, I'm not sure why we're good. I'm probably getting a call here. I'll have to call them back. Storm chasers are calling me. So this is the area back here. It would be back toward Wirtsville, Marysville. That's the place that we're kind of heading toward, but this looks like a really disorganized mess right now. Still possible a weekend by the time it gets to Lehigh Valley? Yes, I think it does. And I just talked, when I was just talking on the phone there with the storm chasers, that was with Kyle, and he is one of the professors at Millersville that's chasing with them, or professor assistants, whatever he is. He is a meteorologist, and he thinks, just like I do, that it's going to weaken once it gets to the Lehigh Valley. Once it gets to that point, I think it starts weakening, and it may do that sooner. I want to check out the models here in a second. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything here, and it doesn't look like everything looks pretty uniform. Let's see. Go over to Binghamton. Here's that line moving through Wayne County. That's just about out of there. So we're going to stop covering this particular cell because I don't cover New York. Okay, so Ryan Hall is not on. Wow, this is Ryan Hall that goes for the Big Daddies. This is not the Big Daddy. Or who's the guy who used to talk about the Big Daddy snowstorms all the time? Henry Margus City, meteorologist Henry Margus City. Ryan goes for the Big Daddy tornadoes, and good for him. I can't do national stuff. I don't know how he does it. And I'd be doing the same thing, to be honest with you, mispronouncing just about every single, not intentionally, of course, but mispronouncing these names of these towns that I don't know. I know this area that I cover, so it's a lot easier for me to, demographically to keep up with this stuff. Or geographically, whatever word I'm trying to figure out there. But yeah, so this is our line coming in. The forward motion of this storm is actually a little bit faster than it has been. We're getting ready to launch here, so I'm gonna go. Let me go over to the Twitter page now, because they're about to do a balloon a balloon launch here. I'm gonna call him back. Watch this be a wrong number.
Hey, Bobby, it's Kyle.
Hey, Kyle, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. You guys are doing the balloon launch now?
Yeah, they're doing a balloon launch. If you want to live stream and see the process.
Yep, I got it. I got it up.
All right, awesome. Sounds good.
That's awesome. Oh, so you don't need to say you're not doing it. Is anybody doing a play-by-play, or are you just going to do it?
I think they are going to do it. Hey, Shane. Well, that helps. Shane, are you guys going to do a play-by-play? Yeah. Your dad's on. Yeah, they're going to do a play-by-play.
Okay, I just wanted so he can explain, or anybody can explain what the process of what they're doing and why they're doing it. That's important for the people on the live stream.
I think he and Ryan are going to play off each other. Huh? All right, take the phone out there. Yeah, I think Shane's going to talk to you about it.
Okay, awesome.
All right, just pass it to Ryan. Ryan, here, take this. Hand it to Shane. Who is it? It's Bobby. Oh. Hi, Bobby. This is Ryan.
Hey, Ryan. What's up, buddy? Hey, do me a favor. I have the live stream going there. I see you guys getting the balloons together for the for launching. If you would, I have you on the live stream and the Twitter stream going. Just talk about like what you're doing and I mean I know what it is, but talk to it like you're talking to them, okay. Like so in basic stuff. Okay. What you're trying to do?
Yeah, so I can do that. So don't mind that. That's the balloon blowing up. But Phil, right here, we know that there's a delay in the live stream, but what we're doing right now, we're actually blowing up what's called a weather balloon. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be attaching what's called a radiosonde to this balloon. And what this radiosonde is going to do is actually collect temperature, pressure, humidity, wind speed, wind direction, and give us a live streamed GPS data that will be coming through. Here, I just got a hand on the string there. So right now, you'll see soon that we're going to start tying the balloon here in just a second, and we'll be launching the windsonde. It's actually called a windsonde. The brand of the radiosonde is called windsonde. Okay. But what this will do is this will gather data for us and give us upper-level profiling of the atmosphere and what's going on up in the upper parts of the atmosphere while this convective system is rolling through. But as you can see here, Shane is he's putting the string on. We have another member of ours holding the windsonde right before our launch. I have don't launch quite yet. We'll launch right in the middle of this thing. Okay, all right. So apparently the cell that we're trying to target right now is just about to go over us. Does it have rotation at all? It looks like it.
How far from Harrisburg are you? Or do you know what town you're in?
Yeah, it looks like we have slight rotation just about to around Boiling Springs. It's very broad. It's not really. It's
No,
very
it's not.
broad, but
No, I don't see
Yeah.
anything. I mean, yeah, that's really broad. I mean, really, really broad.
yeah. But we're gonna be launching this Winson here shortly. As you can see, we're not gonna don't launch it yet. Sorry, I'm trying to do 5 things at once.
No, that's okay. Take your time.
Yeah. So
So
we're
are
ready to
you?
launch, but we're not gonna launch quite yet because Shane, what we're gonna do, we're gonna wait 5 minutes for the actual part of the cell to actually reach us. All right.
Well, we need to launch into the cell. We have to launch technically a little early.
Okay.
Now, are you keeping that data localized, or are you going to be sharing that with National Weather Service State College?
Could you say that one more time? I didn't catch
Is
that.
so the data that you collect from it? Is this something that you can share with the National Weather Service, or is this just internal for your own project?
Okay, I think I got that. My bad. Whoa, careful. Your dad's breaking up a lot. Yeah. Here's Shane, by the way.
Oh,
Hey.
can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, is your data that you're using to collect there? Is that just is that just for your own use, or is that going to be shared with the National Weather Service and State College?
We are going to share with the National Weather Service and State College once we can. All right, we got to launch. So I'm going to try to do a play-by-play.
Okay.
Ryan, you ready to launch? Go time now. Get the Winton ready. We got to launch now to the Mesocyclone. Wait, hold on. Go to the Winton computer. All right, we are currently launching.
All right.
Radio, okay, radio links. Okay. All right, get ready to record. All right, we're going to record the live stream as we're launching.
Okay.
Ryan, give me the okay.
So there's going to be a delay here between the stream and what he's saying. So the phone's...
You ready? 3, 2, 1, launch. All right, there it goes. Oh, fucking shit.
Hey, ew, language. This is...
Oh, my God.
Uh-oh. Wires.
All right, we got to launch a second one. Let's go.
Forgot about those wires, did you? All right, I'll call them back. Shane, I'll call you back. All right, so they're having rookie mistakes there. When you ever have wires nearby, you don't launch not with a kind of wind like that. Take a look at your surroundings first. Well, that's all right. They're going to have another one coming up there. So we're going to go into this system here that they were talking about. I'm going to take a look at while I'm waiting for them. I'm going to wait for them to take a look at what the broad scale of the radar, what it looks like. They have a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued that includes this area right here, which this is back out a little bit. There we go. This is going to include Adams County and the northwest half of York County, also Dauphin County, the southern half of Dauphin County, and Lebanon County. Okay, so this is just issued. New severe thunderstorm warning issued by the National Weather Service and State College. It's for wind gusts at 60 miles per hour and penny-size hail. So the hail with time is getting less, but we are seeing the potential for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this particular warning that was just issued, and that is this big box right here. Okay. We still have some current warnings that are in effect for the areas that's closer to them. They're trying to launch this. They're trying to launch this weather balloon into this one that was just warned, which is the worst part of this storm. That's between Mechanicsburg and Camp Hill, where they are in this whole area. So they got to get this up quickly. So we have a little faux pas there with the launch. Okay. So there's your active warnings. This one here is most likely going to be discontinued very shortly. This one is up by Pottsville. It's now moved further northeast and it's no longer producing severe weather. The only thing they did there was extend some special weather statements, as you can see in these areas. Some special weather statements for some wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour with those. So we are seeing weakening with this stuff up here in northeast PA. Doesn't mean something can't ramp up downstream, but as of now, the main show is going to be out here. So this before it was shifting up here in the northern part of the state and is now shifting down here. And I imagine once this line moves eastward, you're going to have more pop up further east down here across southeast PA, maybe east central Pennsylvania. going to go over. I still hear it pouring out there. Still very warm, though, even with all that rain. So here's the rain moving out ahead of it. This is kind of like some prefrontal noise here going on. They're in the process, by the way, those guys that are chasing. They're in the process now of tying the balloon for the next balloon because they messed up the first one. We're just in motion. See what we're looking at. This is a fast-moving area of rain. So those of you who are reporting rain or heavy rain right now pouring down in Allentown, Jackson, that is going to be temporary. It should be stopping momentarily, okay? And you're going to be back into just cloudy for a while until these storms come in a little bit later, okay? So this is not associated with the thunderstorm line. That will come in later. This is not mitigating anything for that either. Okay, let me get back up here. Okay. All right, just want to make sure this is still going here. And where do I see the comments? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to stay on top of the comments. None of the modeling had these pre-QLCS showers. They are 100% consumed. Some of them very limited instability we had. Yep, Josh is exactly right. So this is these showers that are moving ahead of the main QLCS, which he's talking about. Here's the main QLCS right here, which is, again, this is a fancy name for squall line, right? Not exactly that, but there's your squall line right there. So out ahead of this, you're getting all this shower activity. This was not modeled to be here. So models can get you so far. They don't always get you the exact outcome of this. And so since, we talk about how weather is fluid, this is really fluid. I want to go into this Harrisburg cell real quick because this is looking kind of interesting here, at least from the reflectivity standpoint. I think if they're launching, they better do it right now because they're kind of right in this area right here. There's a little bit of rotation there, I think. Let me examine this a little bit further. A different radar. Uh-oh. I don't want to do that. So we'll go over to the State College radar. Come on. There we go. Still on correlation coefficient. I don't want to do that. We're going to go over to reflectivity. Okay, so this is the area we're looking at. Right in here. Oh, it's pouring out right now outside my house. I'm in the northern part of Lehigh County. It is pouring. Heavy rain in Hazleton. Yep. Okay. So I want to check out this area that they're in right now. Right in there. See what kind of rotation we got. This will give me a better idea. And we got very little. Very, very little. So the good news here, folks, is I don't think we're dealing with tornadoes in large part today. Bad news is we still have these storms we could deal with, and they're going to continue for a while. I don't think they're as severe as they once were, and the best chance for that was going to be in central Pennsylvania anyway. But these are coming in kind of late. These are synoptically driven, so it's not going to take... It's not a day like today where you need a tremendous amount of sun for these to work. If we had the sun come out today for a very long time, and it came out in these areas for a little while, and you're getting a little more fuel out there because of that, but it remained cloudy further east from there. I don't remember. I saw some brightening of the skies here in the Lehigh Valley earlier today, but it wasn't like full sun or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main radar here. I just want to see if there's any rotation. There's a thunderstorm wind damage report. 3 down on Divine Ridge Road and State Route 706 in Susquehanna County. So that was from that earlier squall line. Not a lot of reports today. Really not. Not a lot of reports. I'm watching these guys on their Twitter feed, and it looks like they're just kind of getting set up again. I'm not sure if they're going to do it again or not. Nothing really exciting on there. Looking at the radar, which is what I'm doing. Okay. Or at least whoever has the phone has the radar. So there was a little bit of rotation there, very weak rotation, but it's not really exciting stuff. So as far as chasing, we were expecting maybe they would have a little bit better opportunity out here in the Harrisburg area, and that's why they went there. But it just looks like it's not going to be doing too much for that particular area. Radar scope, see what that has. Yeah, you got a little bit. It's very broad. This is not rotation. That's nothing. Yeah, I think you missed out there, guys. If you're still in the stream, doesn't look like there's anything going to be hitting there. There's your rotation right there. If there is rotation, it's going to be right in here, right there. But see, that's not a tight couplet. It's very disjointed. I don't think it's really much. It's just some weak elevations we saw in the GR2. So they're looking for something there, but I don't see. I mean, that doesn't mean it can't do that, but right now it doesn't look like it's too promising for anything there. All severe thunderstorm warnings have been discontinued up further north. We're going to be switching over to the Mount Holly radar, which is going to cover these storms as they go further east. Nope, not New York City. There we go. So I want to move this over here and get it to reflectivity. And they're just starting to come into the picture right now. Here's that heavy rain moving through the Lehigh Valley and now heading into the southern Poconos. And I think your storm threat, your severe storm threat over the Poconos is probably done. You're probably done there for a severe threat. I think your area of concern is going to be where it's heading to right now, which is going to be from Harrisburg over to Lancaster and then include Reading with time. I don't know how much of an effect this rainfall that came through here is going to have an effect on anything downstream. So Allentown, it has stopped raining now. Okay, and I don't hear rain outside either. I just picked up a quick 0.14 inches of rain here in about 15 minutes. Not super, it sounded heavier than that. Sun's going down too. Yes, it is, but Sterling radar. Somebody's asked me to look at the Sterling radar for this therm install here. Okay, let me take a look at this. There's no warning with it yet. Let me go to our Sterling radar and take a look at that. Thermont. Right? Yep, Thermont, Maryland. That's what he wants me to look at. So this will be coming in at Adams County with time. I just want to see what kind of rotation we have with that. Yes. Whoa, good catch. Good catch. Now this, it's getting a little stronger. I'm surprised you don't have a warning up with that yet. There's definitely rotation there. See that right there? This is near the Thermont area, and Thermont, I'm sorry, just south of there. And there certainly is rotation there in that area. Good call. Good call. So this will be moving. This is going to be moving northeast. Well, now it's of course. Wow, bless. Yep, you still got it there, and there it is. Is moving this way, kind of like more like almost east northeast. Yeah, it's moving northeast. So this would be heading to the Hanover area, or maybe just south of there. It looks like, or West Mannheim. Manchester, some of that general vicinity. It's kind of moving east-northeast, it looks like. See it right there? There's your possible tornado. Let me see if it has a CC drop with it. It does not, so it could just be a funnel cloud, but there's certainly rotation there, and that's something we need to keep an eye on, too, for when it crosses into Pennsylvania. That's with this particular cell here, and if there's a tornado, it would be on the southern or southeastern portion of this. So one thing that makes it more difficult with a QLCS, a quasi-linear convective system, which is what we're dealing with here, it makes it a little bit more difficult to get high-end tornadoes. So you're going to have the rotation is going to be very weak. And the storms of Maryland heading our way. It's heading toward Adams County right now. So, or Adams or maybe southwestern York County. That is heading in that general direction. No tornado warning or even a severe thunderstorm warning with it just yet. But they might not issue one until it gets into Pennsylvania and State College grabs it. Looks like Sterling's like, well, it's only 10 miles from the border, so screw it. I don't know if they're doing that. I'm just kidding. But that's the only show in town. I think Northeast PA, you're done. Of course, back here in Central PA, you're done. Right? No more there to worry about. Once this moves through, the winds are going to die down too as well. So you're getting some pretty strong winds out ahead of this that are going to die down once the squall line moves through. Right now, you're heading... this is heading into York County, and this is where this current warning is in effect for another 43 minutes. Okay? Let me go back to that Thermont storm. That's the most interesting one, at least, on the radar. I want to take a look at that. Still has rotation, but it's pretty broad. You know why? Because I'm on the wrong radar. Okay, still has rotation right there. There it is. It's weak rotation. Let me get the GR2 up. Take a look at that. Sterling, Virginia. This radar site's right here where this red line is, by the way. Come on. There we go. So it definitely has hail with it. And we're going to take a look at this storm that would be crossing into southwestern York County with time. It's not there yet. It would be right in, not there. Oh, yeah. Well, these are a little bigger now. These ones have 30,000 foot heights here, so you can get some bigger tornadoes than that. If that's, not bigger tornadoes, but yeah, there's a lot of spin with that. Look at that rotation. Whoa, Nelly. And that's pretty low to the ground. So there's some considerable rotation with that. There could be a tornado in here. Yeah, where is that? That's on the southwestern side of this. So what they're saying is, or what that radar is saying is that down here is where it would be. Oh, don't do that. Damn it. I'll figure this out yet. It'll be right in here. Yeah, look at that. Now that's decent rotation. That's what decent rotation looks like to you. Okay, and you see you have the green over here. This could be a tornado. I'm surprised they do not have a warning. I'm very surprised they do not have a warning on this. Very surprised. But it does look like it's weakening. The latest scan's weakening. Maybe that's why. Maybe they just, wasn't strong enough for them. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was a report of a touchdown here. Let's see. Okay, let me get on the Sterling radar now. I just want to check out that cell and see. I'll keep an eye on it yet, but looks like this is our main show. And with these warnings that are currently in effect, they no longer include these areas out in Cumberland County and Perry County. They have been dropped. So we'd have this main one here that is for the Gettysburg area, although I think it's past you by now. And also heading up to Mount Wolf, Elizabethtown, Hershey, Jonestown, Lebanon. These are all in that area of the severe thunderstorm watch, but warning, I'm sorry. And then these are all the only warnings we have. This is it. So I'm going to give this a little bit longer to see what this does down in these areas in southeast PA. And I think at that point, if I start seeing this stabilize, I might jump off. Because like I said, I was supposed to be going to Kalahari today, and that didn't happen. We can zoom way into these again and see what we're looking at with these. These are the storms that we're looking at coming in. Right there. Okay. So these will have some nice shell clouds with them. It's already 6. It's almost 7 o'clock here. It's 10 minutes till 7. Apparently they're not streaming on Twitter anymore. So I'm going to go over to my Twitter, see if I got any mentions. Just give me a second. March came in like a lamb and is going out like a Tasmanian devil. It sure is. It's crazy. Yeah, this week was nuts. We had snow this week. We had freezing rain. We had sleet. We had grapple. We had unseasonable cold, record low high temperatures. And then we got today, it's like, whoops, it doesn't want to be winter anymore. Now it's going to be like mid-May. And now we're going to get storms. It just, And of course, the first full week of April is generally near average temperatures too. I'm taking a look at my Twitter feed to make sure what I missed or didn't miss, because a lot of you have sent me some things here. It looks like you don't have to bother sending me radar images, because that's not really helpful. I have radars. Yeah. All right. So okay. I was hoping that Shane would have the stream still up, does he? Yeah, he does. Okay. So it looks like our guys, our storm chasers are getting ready to launch again. Hopefully they stay away from those wires this time. But at least we got an idea of what they were trying to do. There he is. I see him. What, he changed clothes? What are you, Superman? Yeah, guys are in the Hershey area reporting heavy rain. That's some pretty intense heavy rain there. Heavy rain was definitely a big threat with these slow-moving storms today, that's for sure. Yeah, I laughed too, Josh. That was hilarious. It's kind of like flying your drone into something. By the way, Josh Bingham, if you ever have a way to live stream, I can get you on these too, and for future just reach out to me not now because I'm going to be busy. Just reach out to me on Twitter, and I can, if you have the ability to stream live, I can get your stream on once I get this all figured out, because we totally crashed these streams earlier today. So we had to go to, he's actually streaming here on Twitter. Why are you hiding in Phoenixville? You don't need to hide in Phoenixville, not yet. We got a couple hours yet. Well, about an hour and a half, 2 hours. You don't have to hide yet. Surprised he didn't call me. It looks like they're looking at, what is that? That one that hit the pole or what? Hit the power line? Okay, so while they're doing that, it looks like they're still setting up. If I see that they're going to be launching, I will head back over there. So we're just following the storms. Again, if you're in Northeast PA, if you are... let me get this drawing. Is this going to be in black? Yes, it is. Okay. Trash that. Go to white. If you are north of this area right here, you're probably done. You're probably done. It's too stable up there. Okay, and there's always storms already rolled through there. We are worried about areas south of that line, and more realistically, probably in between here. Right there. Right between those two sectors, I think, is your area that we still have to watch. I think once it gets to, just based on our SPC data that I looked at, when it gets to like the Lehigh Valley, far eastern Pennsylvania, it starts to weaken from what it is right now. This is pretty intact right now, though. It looks pretty nice. So, Brandon, looks like, I think you can look on my Twitter page. I put out a severe weather chart today, and it has timing by area. Reading was included on that. That was one of our locations we used. I want to say it was 6 to 9 is the time frame we gave. So you're right in that window now. It is just west of you now. It's going to be probably about another hour. Very, very soon. Maybe less than that. Because the line itself is moving now. This is the line. It wasn't moving all day. Now its eastward movement is picking up. There's that line right there. Why do I keep hitting this over here? Get out. Get. So there's the line moving eastward. It's now moving through Harrisburg. And this is going to hit everything further east now. Okay? Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect with that. There's nothing downstream because that's too far away just yet. But it looks like the northern part of this is just kind of falling apart. There's really no severe thunderstorms. Let me call them back. Let me go over to the live stream again.
Hey, Bobby, it's Phil.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? You guys ready to launch, or you did?
We just launched. Here, let me go to the other car. I was in different cars than them. Yo, it's Bobby. Hey.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome.
You have a successful launch there, or what?
Say it again.
Hey, nice rookie mistake there with the weather balloon and the power lines. That was great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We don't tell the National Weather Service about that one.
Yeah, we don't tell them. I'm sure unless they're watching it.
Yeah, but did he see that on the live stream?
I did not.
Oh, sorry about that, guys.
Oh yeah, I saw it. That was great. I saw you guys
Great,
chase.
because it didn't go up as we wanted it. Or up as quickly as we wanted it to. Instead, it went straight beeline left.
I saw Ryan. He's talking to somebody now on the live stream. You're about 4 seconds behind, 4 or 5 seconds.
Live stream?
No, your Twitter live stream.
Yeah, no. It ended
It did.
on accident. Yeah, because the phone locked, so it just ended. Here, hold back.
I'm seeing it live now. Somebody's recording something.
I'm restarting a new one.
We apologize for or maybe it's connecting.
You're doing. Somebody's holding an anemometer
All right, it should be on my thing.
on yours.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, the live stream should be up again. You just got to go get it to my Twitter. It should be a new post, but it could also be the same one. I don't know. You know Twitter better than I do, so have at it.
So I'm going to what, your page?
Yeah, it's on my page.
Okay, give me a second.
Why are we talking about going to a restaurant? Yeah, we got some massive lightning going on around here.
Yeah, everything's moved east of you though. Now you're just that line's starting to get better organized now that it moved east of you, of course.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Or is that?
We're still looking at radar right now on the live stream.
Yeah, I see. I see you.
We went through like a couple of rough runs of the windstorm, but we actually got a really good one up in the air right now. So thank God. We're currently at about 840 millibars right now is where the windstorm's at, about 1.2 kilometers into the atmosphere. But Kyle right now is going to do a review of what we're doing right now. I wanted to allow Kyle to speak a little bit on that.
Okay.
Whoa. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, Kyle, would you do me a favor? Introduce yourself, because I know. I mean, you're along with these guys on the chase, but you are a meteorologist. So I just wanted to make sure they know the.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and what you.
My official title is Weather Information Center Director at Millersville University. Yes, I'm a professional meteorologist.
Yep. Okay. Just want to make sure everybody knew the distinction. You weren't one of the chasers. Well, you are, but not.
Right. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, so I'm just doing a little post-storm analysis here. I took a couple notes on the balloon launch times. Our first launch pre-storm to get a sounding of the ambient environment was at 21:06 or 5:06 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then our time of the second successful launch was 22:49. That was 1 mile northeast of Shiremanstown. So that was 6:49 p.m. And we actually did have some brief small hail here at 6:44 p.m. And we had reflectivity of 58 dBz overhead at that time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
oh, Lord.
So we were right in the core of it down here.
Okay. Yeah. So what was what kind of winds did you get at the ground then?
We hardly had any wind gusts here at the ground.
Yeah, it didn't look like it.
What did you guys measure for wind speed at the ground, or didn't? Yeah, the wind speeds when the core of the storm actually went through here, it was almost dead calm, 5 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so surprisingly, we actually had the hail, but we did not have really any winds at all.
Yeah, they still have the active warning there, but it doesn't look to me anyway that there is. Now there was the concerning thing on the Sterling radar down by Thurmont in far northern Maryland about to head, and it looks like it's heading toward southwestern York County right now, the Hanover area. There's been a distinct area rotation around there that was a lot tighter before. But other than that, I haven't, except for that one we had up in Carbondale, there really hasn't been too much in the way of, stronger rotation today at all, which is good. And that only severe thunderstorm warning we have active right now is that one that's just east of you.
York.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like it's down in York, Adams County, and then northern Lancaster County.
So in your professional opinion, I know you gave me a little bit about that earlier about how you think it's when it heads over toward like Allentown and that area, it's going to weaken. Do you think how long do you think that this is going to survive, and does it make it to even like Westchester, Philly area, or probably done before that?
I do think there's still a heavy rain threat as it gets over that way, obviously, because again, after you get above the highest 1 kilometer of the atmosphere, or the lowest 1 kilometer of the atmosphere, it's pretty much unidirectional shear. So wind direction is basically the same,
right?
Above 1 kilometer. So I mean, the flooding threat is still going to be there. With these storms training over each other from southwest to northeast. But if you actually look at the CAPE throughout the region right now, I just looked at this on the SPC Meso analysis page. We had about 1,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE out here along I-81 in areas farther west. Once you get east of Lancaster up toward Lehigh Valley, Westchester, Philadelphia area, you guys are looking at about 100 or 200 joules per kilogram of CAPE right now, and that's only going to go down.
Yeah,
with sunset. So
that hasn't gone up. And I'm sure the rain that we just had some pre-QLCS rain move through, dropped about 0.2 inches of rain. Was coming heavy for 15 minutes, but that's not helping the instability situation any better, to make it any better either. So I don't...
No. Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, anything that you see now ahead of this line, again, I was also looked at the bulk shear as well, and there's a significant drop-off once you get east of a line from about Reading to Westchester. You get east of that line, and there's a significant drop-off. in the bulk shear as well. So I think any rain that you get or showers out ahead of this, it's just going to lead to more stabilization ahead of the main line.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it actually looks like just take a look at what you just. I pulled up as I'm doing the live stream. I'm pulling up the SBC mesoscale analysis that you were talking about with the most unstable cape there, and there is this mixed layer. What am I looking at here? This is most unstable. Okay. Still, probably mixed layer would be better. Let me switch to that.
Yeah, and I was looking at surface based when I was referencing that too.
Oh, surface based. Yeah, even that's nothing. Yeah. So.
Right.
But if you look at the original severe thunderstorm watch outline, for those of you on the video that are watching the live stream, it will be the image on top here. It looks like it was drawn perfectly for the severe threat areas, and then the extension east would, in that case, be almost completely unnecessary, as it turns out. No fault to them, of course. They're looking at what they had at the time, but I think that we might see that dropped with time, just based on what we're looking at, which would save New Jersey, save far eastern Pennsylvania, and far southeastern Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that as well. Again, your best severe weather parameters are, out along I-81. They were out across central and northern PA today. Even us down here around Harrisburg, we're kind of along the eastern edge of everything here. I suspect that severe thunderstorm warning that you see right now for York and Adams County, northern Lancaster, that may be one of the last ones here of the evening, honestly.
Yep. Well, that's good for me, because I'm supposed to be up with my wife at Kalahari, so.
There you go. I don't think you'll have a problem with that, Bobby.
Yep. Awesome. All right, it's great talking to you, Kyle. I appreciate it. Hopefully, we have future live streams. If you're out, I'll enjoy talking. I'm going to meet you very soon too. I haven't formally met Kyle yet, but I will be very shortly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's next weekend, right? Next, you're going to be
weekend,
next Sunday. Okay, down in Millersville. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're listening to this and you want to take a trip down to Millersville, please come down and join us for EPAWA. It's Public Weather Awareness Day. We'll have some games, demonstrations, experiments, and we're actually going to launch a weather balloon down there too. So if you have an opportunity, come down and join us. I'd love to see everyone down there.
Absolutely. And I'll be down there too. With Ray will be down there. We'll have a good time.
Yeah, Tilding will be down here too. Everybody will be down there representing.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, Kyle. I'll talk to you next week then.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me on, Bobby.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
All right, take it easy. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, we were just talking to a meteorologist that is with the meteorology students out chasing in the from Millersville University, which of course is actually not too far from. These storms are not too far from Millersville now, and the ones that are heading in there. But there is that's where they're chasing right now. Is they actually were west of the Harrisburg area when they tried to intercept that, and he said it was very little. Met with little fanfare. Just a lot of heavy rain, not really a lot of wind. So this is, and that just got scaled back a little bit. So with this line here that's moving through Hershey, east of Harrisburg, heading toward Elizabethtown, that is in far northwestern Lancaster County. Yeah, Lancaster County, Mount Wolf, York. These are actually all of York County is under the gun for severe weather, and it will be. It's not technically down here by red line yet, but I think that will be extended with time. I want to focus on this particular cell down here near Taneytown, and somebody is, Ray just said that this is tightening up. So I want to take a look at this here and see what we got. Okay, yeah, so there's a little bit. Let me get the Sterling radar. I keep forgetting to switch radar sites, but the good thing about this radar Omega is you're able to switch the radar sites very easily. Yeah, you got a little bit. It's still kind of broad, Ray. You're right. It's there's some there, but it's not like super exciting to me. There's some there. Moving in, we got to watch that. Moving into southeastern York County, southern and southeastern York County is where it looks where that's headed. But there is a little bit of rotation with that. The problem is we're now getting in between radar sites, so you get these little. I don't want to call them dead zones because it's not a dead zone in this particular area. It is up here in Schuylkill County where we had those snow squalls the other day up in this area near Frackville and what's the name of that town? Minersville, up here on I-81, right around this bend. They had those snow squalls the other day. That is a radar dead zone. We need another radar up in that area, and we've been pushing this. We've been pushing this for this radar here, but it all comes down to money. It comes down to politics, how they want to spend their money, and whether it's important or not to them. to do so. So this area of rotation around here looks kind of broad to me, but it is something we need to keep an eye on for. There's a severe thunderstorm warning in far northern Maryland for this particular cell. This would be heading into southern York County, heading in the general direction of York and Red Lion. So if there is something extended, it will be with this particular cell. The rest of this is starting to fall apart pretty bad. I mean, I don't see anything exciting, and you heard Kyle on the call. Excuse me, I specifically asked him if he thought, in his professional opinion, which his degree is a lot higher than mine. He understands that how this works a lot better than I do, even. But he even said that once it gets past this point here, maybe it gets to Lancaster and that's it. We don't see this continuing too much further into eastern and southeastern Pennsylvania. So this is might have run its course, because we're running into that image I was showing you when I was on the call when he was talking about it. Was from the Storm Prediction Center. That's this right here. And get over the better image of this so I can blow it up. That is, see all this area in here? I'm going to explain this to you. So this is your convective available potential energy, the amount of fuel you have for thunderstorms. This is the most unstable convective available potential energy. God bless, I got to keep changing the color. This thing's starting to tick me off. Okay, so this is where all your best energy is. Fuel for the storm, so to speak, right? And that's where the best area is within that area. So once it gets past, like, say, Lancaster County, you really have negligible amounts in here. Negligible across New Jersey, across Delaware, across far eastern Pennsylvania. So they're going to kind of run on a wall, and it's going to transition more to a heavy rain threat at some point. So we're not there yet, but we're going to continue to monitor that. And I'll stay on this feed a little bit longer until we have, we have a good idea that it's going to be over and done with from a severe standpoint. Again, the severe thunderstorm warnings are still in effect for these areas in south central Pennsylvania currently. But while I was talking to him on the call here, going back to that image here, the severe thunderstorm watch they put up the first time, this was actually very good, and you have some verified severe thunderstorm wind damage in these areas. No tornado reports, okay? But if they would have left this left well enough alone and waited on this second watch, I don't think this second watch is largely going to be necessary. Maybe for Lancaster or maybe for Berks. I think beyond that, we're probably okay. We'll see. That might not be completely accurate. Again, I'm not the National Weather Service. I don't make that call. I cannot make that call. I'm not allowed to make that call. I can give you my opinion on this feed because it's my feed. But, if you want to say, Bobby, you're an idiot, and I think you're wrong, you have every right to do so. Go back to the radar here. I want to keep focus on this. By the way, if you are joining the stream later, you have been bouncing back and forth, coming on and off and on. I think from a severe weather standpoint, that if you get north of this line right here, that you're likely done. You're likely done. Your severe weather threat over the next several hours is going to be kind of like in here, but it might not extend much further than here. It might just be, so I'm thinking it's only going to get up to or about that line. It's moving this way, right? I'm thinking it gets up to about that line, and then we're calling it a night. And that's it. Now, the line is moving very slowly, and I'm going to check out on some models and see what they're doing right now. The models completely missed that prefrontal stuff that moved through just a little while ago. Josh Adams is telling me that the sun is out now behind this line completely. So you guys back here, you're good to go. Your threat's over for the night. Have a good night. What does Ryan Hall say? Go to sleep, right? I love that guy. Anyway, so that's what we have left here. Just this one singular, within our coverage area, one singular severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for this area that's between about to head into Leadmanton, Elizabethtown, Mount Wolf, York. York will be about 15 minutes or so yet. Just to give you an idea of the forward speed of this. Let's put this in motion. You see the storm motion here, that this line's moving now finally. It took a long time moving. Its movement as a whole coming farther east, but this is generally, everything's moving southwest-northeast along the boundary, but the entire line was taking its time to move eastward. It's finally starting to get its act together and move a little bit faster now, but it's still taking its time. So we'll see. Once you lose the sun and the sun goes down, I know it's the cloudy out ahead of this. My wife's trying to call me right now on the live stream. She should know better. But once you get, since you have the clouds out in front of that, It is, once you hit sunset, you're going to lose even more instability. So we're going to check some models here now and see what we got. Let me go over to the models page, which is that. Okay. So this is what we got. I'm going to get the initial, the latest run here. So this is the 22Z run of the HRR, and it has this line, it's 7 o'clock now. It has a kind of right with the timing. It's a little bit, the line is actually a little faster than the HRR is indicating here. But you have these individual cells, and it's definitely weakening as it hits that area of very little instability, and it just turns into nothing. It's kind of fizzles. So there's really not much left, folks. We got whatever's left going on through Lancaster, and that should be about it. As from a severe weather threat, I fully expect that this severe thunderstorm watch was good. The one below it is probably going to be dropped. I just don't see this continuing with the environment that's out ahead of it. But again, that's not my call, okay? That's not my call. That is up to the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center. They were right at the time, but when they're looking at the parameters out front here, looking for this, it looked like this was a good call to extend it at that point, just to stay ahead of it. If they would have waited a little bit, maybe they wouldn't have issued it at all, but it is what it is. Watches are just that. They don't mean you're definitely going to get severe weather. It just means be on the lookout for it, right? That's all we're doing. So, go back to the radar again. Okay, so you guys that are still on the channel here, I noticed I had a lot more at one point. It looks like a lot of you are saying, oh, well, the threat's over and that's it, which is fine. But the ones that are still on the channel, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. Here we go, Josh. Thank you. So, a tornado warning now issued with this cell here moving through northern Maryland. This is near Carroll, Maryland, right here. There is your severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to stop the loop, move it over to velocity. So there's enough spin here. Yes, there's definitely there. And again, this is in between radar sites, so you're not going to have a clear picture here. See how I have CC drop? That's probably not going to capture that either. It's too far away. Could be something there. Could be something here. Definitely enough to put a warning up on it, though. So if you are in this area, the areas in our region that would be downstream for this. And again, this is along a QLCS. This is not going to last forever and a day like it does down in the southern United States. But, you might get some of this continuing downstream into West Manheim, Furman's Mill. What is that, Bandana? I never even heard of that place. Parkville, Marburg. These are all places that we need to watch out for downstream for a possible tornado. And you can see that's crossing right through here. There is a CC drop with that. It's not the best. There could be a possible tornado with this. So I'm going to go over to the GR2 radar and focus on this particular cell. And this is out of Sterling, so I'm on the right spot. That's good. Here's your tornado. Possible in that area. Getting ready to cross the border, ready to cross the Mason-Dixon line. Some very high cloud tops with this. You're looking at just over 32,000 feet, 34,000 feet, right? So we're getting some good structure to this. It probably is putting off some pretty good visuals. Yeah, see what kind of rotation we got. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. That is a lot of rotation right there. There it is. This is your possible tornado right here. So now, again, I can only see how far the radar sight shoots ahead of the radar. You got to remember that you have a radar beam, right? And it's shooting up at an angle, about a half degree. And the further out you go, the higher the angle is going to be above the ground, right? So it's not seeing, this is not going to see anything below this level. So I can't tell you, is it touching the ground? We don't know. We do know that you have, what am I doing here? We do know that we have a little bit of a CC drop in there, as I showed in that other image. So there may be a brief touchdown in this area. And there's, of course, nothing confirmed. If there is something confirmed, it'll pop up on here, but there is nothing confirmed currently. But there's definitely rotation there, and you got a little bit of CC drop in there. Looks like it's weakening already. That's good. So it could just be a funnel, but you can't assume. Can't assume with a tornado, ever, that it's one thing or another. So they put these warnings out because they see the rotation. It was radar indicated. It was not an official observation of a tornado. It's a thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Littletown or 7 miles west of Westminster, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. That is radar indicated rotation, and that is now moving into southern York County, southwestern York County. Actually, maybe is that also far southeastern Adams County. Josh, I agree with you. Should have been a tornado warning on that earlier. I think it's just a case of this is in between radars, and that's why you're getting a little fuzziness there. Yeah, it does look like the old Atari, doesn't it? It does. So we're going to continue to follow that. If you have questions for me, I will answer as many as I can, since we only have this. I just want to keep focused on this particular area right here, because this is the most interesting part of the radar. Northern part of this line seems like it's kind of not fizzling, but it's not as exciting as far as velocity. Not really too much up here. I think even the straight line wind stuff's going away, so this might not last too much longer. We're going to continue on the radar while I'm answering these questions. How or when did you become interested in weather? Interesting. We have when I was a little toddler, my grandma. This is back in the day when you could do this kind of stuff. Now it probably would be considered something you probably shouldn't do. But I was scared to death of thunder and lightning, and I was only a toddler. I was only 2-3 years old. So in order to get, I think it was 3, my grandmother on my father's side, put me in front of a window, like a sliding glass window. Put a chair down in front of it, opened the curtains. They had the old draw curtains with them. Made me sit there and watch the entire thunderstorm to prove to me that lightning is not going to hurt you. Now, it will. That was a dumb analogy. But at least it got me over my fear of thunderstorms at a very young age, at 3 years old. And from that point forward, I was just like, I was that kid turning on the Weather Channel, watching, back in the 80s when it first started. I was glued to the Weather Channel all the time, and I just would watch it, and it's just something that always has interested me. And then I did it. I decided I did a reverse thing before going to college. I went to the military and did aviation weather first. I was actually giving aviation flight briefings to pilots in the United States Army, and stationed at several large Army airfields. Fort Campbell being one of them, the 101st Airborne Division. And we relay information to pilots aviation weather along their flight route. So that's what got me the start in meteorology, and then went to Penn State after that. So there was a kind of a reverse way of doing things. But once the social media era started, that's when I really got into it. With what you see now, and EPAWA has evolved greatly over the years. We started off as looked like somebody doing the weather from their mom's basement, right? It was we were using like Atari 2600 maps. Our maps have gotten a lot better. We expanded. We started a business with it. This Facebook page started in 2009. Started a business in 2012, and then we became a consulting firm in 2018. We have some pretty big clients. I don't have a ton of clients, but I have a lot of large ones, or a handful of large ones anyway, that keep us plenty busy. Some of those are Major League Baseball teams, okay, that we do the weather for. So that's what we do. That's where I got my start. So anyway, I just want to continue focusing on this area down here. This tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire because it is now, the rotation with this has now moved into extreme. Oh, wait, where is this? I never know where these borders are. I got to do something with the borders. Extreme southeastern Adams County and moving into York County. So it's heading toward the Jefferson area. And let me put a little bit of motion on this, see where this is going. Yeah, it's near Furman's Mill right now. So they might need to extend something, at least severe thunderstorm warning for this. We're going to go from, I think it's going to be heading more towards Red Line, kind of that area, right? So we'll do that, and we'll say it's about, actually they said it was 35 miles an hour, so we'll do that. So Red Line is the next big area that would be in the path of this possible rotation tornado, whatever you want to call it. Could be a funnel cloud, could be nothing, could just be rotation, but you can't assume, right? Red line's going to be downstream here. You got a little bit of time. You got over 40 minutes, looks like. I don't see red line on this list. Oh, there it is. 39 minutes. So you got about, so you assume 30, okay? I know these radars sometimes will estimate an exact time, but don't assume you have exactly that amount of time. Assume, get in a safe place sooner if this becomes a tornado warning. And it does not look like they extend the tornado warning. This rotation is relatively broad, but they did extend a severe thunderstorm warning now out to the east. As you can see, this is the new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued. That includes the Lancaster area. It does include Red Lion. It includes Winterstown, Shrewsbury, Conestoga, Lillits, Ephrata, Leola, Intercourse. Who the hell names a town Intercourse? And Bluebell. Anyway. Do you think this will be severe once it reaches the shore? No, absolutely not. What's the stuff about Millersville next weekend? We are presenting down there. They have a like a how-to presentation with the general public, and Ray is... Ray, you're asking me beer questions. I'll get to that in a minute. He's going to be going with me. He's bringing the drone down, and we're going to do some fun stuff down there. They have a meet and greet with the public and kind of explain how things work. There's actually not just us. It's going to be... WeatherWorks is going to be there, I think. There's going to be... I think the National Weather Service is going to be there. We're going to have a lot of people there that are presenting and have different displays. Our display is going to be me, my bald head, which, by the way, I'm going to take my hat off and put my glasses on because this is, yes, bald head. Woo! No, I'm going to take the hat off. It's too... God, it's bright. I shave my head because I have to. Otherwise, I'll have, like, earmuffs looking on my side of my head. It only grows around the sides. I got to put the glasses on, though, because these are the red, green, blue reflecting thing. So, yeah, blue ball. There's a blue ball, blue bell. There's both. So, yeah, Ray's going with me with that. There's going to be several presenters down there for that. So this is the new severe thunderstorm warning. It is for winds 60 miles per hour, up to 60 miles per hour, as the radar indicated again. And this is 60 mile per hour wind gust and nickel-size hail possible. This is moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. So I will tell you, this rotation down here, they had 35, I thought was low. This is really hauling through this sector here. To answer your question, Hereford County, North Carolina. I don't even know where that is, Kevin. I'm not sure. I just cover... My coverage area is... I no disrespect to anybody who's looking for information outside of my area I cover. But it's the eastern two-thirds of Pennsylvania, all of New Jersey, all of Delaware, northern Maryland, and the eastern shore of Maryland is my area. Let's see. Favorite beer? Got to be the Monkeys. Got to love the Victory. Any Victory beer, really. Berry Monkey, Sour Monkey. I love the sour beers. So this severe thunderstorm warning is for these areas right in here. Nothing moving there yet. This is with this stuff down here that's moving, crossing over from Maryland. Again, this had a history of rotation before. None currently. They did not extend the tornado warning with this. But there are more in the pipeline here that are going to make it up into... this includes Millersville. If those guys are heading back, and they're not. Actually, I'm looking at Twitter right now. They're launching another balloon. They're launching another balloon right now. These guys are... That's my kid right there with the hat backwards. And that's Kyle, the guy we were talking to on the phone. I don't know this gentleman here with the hooded sweatshirt. I knew his name and I forgot, and I will learn his name. I will learn all these guys' name. I know who Ryan is. There's Ryan. And that's Kyle. The guy holding the balloon is the meteorologist. So it looks like they're doing they captured another sounding. If you can see in the picture here in their stream, they have clearing off to the west of where they're at. So they're probably just looking at comparing what they had prior to the event to what's... Oh, don't dance. Do not dance. I should text him and tell him I'm still watching him. Goofball. He dances... Oh, there's the clear skies behind it, getting clearing. He dances like his pop, which is not very good. I have 2 left feet. So anyway, we'll check back in with him. I do want to stay on this the severe thunderstorm warning that was issued further east. I don't see this going much further than this. It might include eastern Lancaster eventually, as they might bump this forward a little bit, and it may get into Chester County, or at least the western part of Chester County with time. I don't think you're going to be running into too many problems in Berks County, the Lehigh Valley. It doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. They might issue a warning for this as this moves in, but I'm not seeing any anything that really tells me that this is really severe right now. The winds aren't really that great with this. There's a few spots that it's a little gusty, but that's nothing more. You might actually have wind gusts that were out ahead of it stronger than what you're going to see with some of these storms. Even for this area that's coming into, this area that extended the severe thunderstorm warning, doesn't look too crazy. And I am on the State College radar. Let me move over to the Mount Holly, see if I can pick this up yet. It's kind of max range of this model, so you can start to pick it up a little bit. We're going to go over the Mount Holly radar very shortly. But I think this is going to be the extent of it. I'm not sure what's going on with this warning here. Oh, there they go. Okay. So, as soon as I say that, of course, the National Weather Service just puts up a severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like for Berks County and Lehigh County. So, it just popped up. Why? Oh, there goes my phone with the warning. So I'm in Lehigh County, so there it is. Severe thunderstorm warning for Lehigh County. Interesting. Okay, so that just popped up for that. That is with this severe thunderstorm warning that's issued here. It's for this northern part of the line here. I'm going to bet this is not going to be too bad. But let's see. Yeah, I don't see a lot of wind with this. Let's see what the warning says. Wind gusts up to 60, or I'm sorry, this is for wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. It is radar indicated. Damage to roof, siding, trees, and power lines is possible. This includes Allentown, Reading, Lehighton, Bethlehem, Emmaus, Wyomissing, Northampton. That's the city of Northampton. Fleetwood, Sinking Spring, Laureldale, Nesquehoning, Womelsdorf. I know how to say that. I can't say it right now. Warnersville and Walnutport. Womelsdorf. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, we're gonna watch this one. This is the new warning that was issued. It's just for this area just west of Hamburg. Again, not really seeing too much. Let me go over to the GR. Actually, let me go over to the radar scope one. And I'm going to switch. It actually is the Mount Holly. So it's with this northern part of the line moving through. So we'll look at this and see what this is showing. So I get anything better of this. Sometimes the velocities are better on radar scope. Okay. Again, they might be assuming that this is going to ramp up a little bit. Right now I'm seeing wind gusts like 30 to 40 with it, but that does not mean that there can't be something higher than that with time. So again, take any of the severe warnings that are issued seriously. This also includes part of Carbon County and the far western portions of Northampton County. So those are your only warnings that you have out right now. All right, and when I zoom out, you can see some stuff over northern Maryland here, but this is the first one to the south, and this is the one that was just issued for Berks, Lehigh, parts of Carbon to include Jim Thorpe and Lehighton, Palmerton, Slatington. Those are all in this area. But there it is. It's out by Strausstown, Auburn, Charlottesville, Myerstown. That's where it is right now. Yeah, don't forget Palmerton. How can I forget Palmerton? Palmerton is picked on a lot around here. Not sure why. It's a certain guy that likes to pick on Palmerton. The line that's forming around Philadelphia. This is all prefrontal stuff. No lightning with it. Looks like just showers. It's just prefrontal showers moving out ahead of it. The HRR did have that. Had it a little further west, but it did have this popping out in this area. Okay. So if I go over to we'll go over to the models real quick and show you the latest run. This is still the 22Z run. And I'll go to the models page, which is that. See all the stuff popping out in front of it. It had that. Okay. So this is expected, but it's not even any thunder and lightning with it currently. Not saying you can't have any, but it just looks like some gusty showers, and that's it. Okay. Still no signs that this is going to have to continue past where it currently is. Yeah, see, this isn't... here's the best instability. There's nothing there. It shouldn't translate further east. It's really, really low values. I just got a severe thunderstorm warning text from you guys. Actually, you shouldn't have. If you're getting that, there's a problem. I'm going to mess with my staff. We stopped doing the real-time thunderstorm alerts, and the reason why is it is counterproductive. I can't charge somebody for text alerts for real-time thunderstorm alerts when these are freely produced among several sources. And it costs us money to send the text alerts, so we would have to charge for it because it's costing us money and we're providing a service, right? But if you can get that for free and get those warnings pop up your phone, it would be counterproductive for me to do so. So what we did this year is we're doing in the morning of, we send out matter of fact, I'll show you. We'll send out the text alerts, but we will also do a severe weather chart. And this is what I posted on Twitter. They look like this. This looks like this. I won't post this on Twitter normally, but this is our severe weather chart, and it will show the different locations across our region, the time that these storms are supposed to come in to each area. So like Allentown, we have between 6 and 9. Well, it's 7:30, you're about to get hit, right? So that's a good timing. So most of these timings are pretty good. This is what we project in the morning of, and then we'll have parameters there for each severe and non-severe threat across the top. And that includes winds that are not severe. So 35 to 45, not severe, but can still do some minor damage to tree branches, small trees, things like that, especially in the right conditions. If it's wet, that'll help it happen easier. Then we categorize it. We step up for the next points: hail, lightning, tornadoes, chance for rain, heavy rain, that kind of thing. So we'll have that out. Then we'll send text alerts based on that. So for each individual county, we'll give you the exact timing expected that morning of those storms to roll through and what to expect from them. Okay? So we no longer do the real-time text alerts, but we do the morning of the severe threat, outline exactly what time they're coming through and what kind of severe parameters we can expect. It looks to me, although let me go back to straight college radar. Yeah, this line here doesn't look as impressive. The southern part of this severe thunderstorm warning. And if I look over to the velocity, that's not impressive either. A little breezier up by Lebanon and Jonestown, up in that area. Okay. But this area here is where we're going to focus on the next, because it looks like that's the next area. Also an area of rotation down here, just west of Westminster, heading toward Manchester. We'll watch that. No warning with that either. There's still some rotation in here that we have to continue to watch, but there's nothing exciting to me from a parameter standpoint that says that we're going to have all of a sudden have all these tornadoes running around. Should just be mostly straight line wind threats here, but there could be a spin up with one of these severe storms, certainly. So let me go back to the Mount Holly radar because I want to focus on the stronger part of the cell, which is up here. And you can see that. It looks like... this is the one heading toward the Lehigh Valley, northern Berks. So, yeah, there's a little bit of... that's interesting looking. If I move this... you got a pretty good squall line coming through there, and you're going to have some gusty winds with that squall line as it moves through. It looks like it's going right through Hamburg right now. That'll be heading over towards the Kutztown area. There's another one coming down here by Burnville, heading over toward Fleetwood. This is all north of the Reading area. Again, Reading, you might get, so if you get something, it's probably going to be down with this cell down here just by over Lebanon County right now. We'll see. But this cell here, it looks healthiest up by Hamburg, and that's going to be heading over to eventually toward Allentown, Fogelsville, Northampton, places like that. Okay. So that's that. They are warning this because it does look pretty ominous on radar, but again, I don't see anything that's suggesting this is like super crazy. Okay. So we're going to take, actually, let me go over to the different radar, which again is better with velocity. And see what we got. Oops. Oh boy. This is very sensitive, this thing. So you have some wind gusts, and this would be going through Hamburg. I want to see what's going on here. See what kind of wind gusts we have in there yet. Some gusts over 40. You got some 38s, 40s in there. Again, it doesn't have to be severe to do damage. It provides the severe damage of the National Weather Service, which is 58 miles per hour or greater. There are some spots along this line here that has a little bit more, some 40s, So down by Burnville especially, you got some 38s, 40s there. So it's not overly impressive with the wind field with this, but there is enough there to at least keep an eye on. I don't know if I would have issued a warning on it, but again, I don't issue the warnings. They have, National Weather Service uses the AWIP system. They have, their radars are even more sophisticated than this, and I wish I could tap into those, but I can't. First, that would be illegal. Second, they wouldn't let me. But they have some other tools they can look at. But so there's some gusty winds with this, and again, a lot of times they look at the environment ahead of this, ahead of the line as it's coming in sometimes, and they'll say, okay, well, this looks pretty strong, and it is strengthening, so there's a chance that, yeah, it's only producing 40, 45 miles per hour now, but there's a chance that it can strengthen downstream a little bit, and if it does so, we want to be prepared for that. So they will issue downstream sometimes, and even if you're looking at your radar apps that show the velocity radars, and I know most of you have them if you're following it, it'll say, wow, these winds are only 38, 40 miles per hour. That's no big deal. That's right now. It doesn't mean that it won't get a little worse when it moves eastward. I'm not expecting it to get any worse because, again, you're going to run into that wall where you don't have much instability to work with anymore. Once it hits the Lehigh Valley, I think that's your end. And this stuff over further south here is really falling apart. Really falling apart. It's south of the Mason-Dixon line is still going pretty good. As you can see here, they're coming into Westminster. There's a pretty strong hook with that there. When I say hook, I'm talking about straight line winds. Because there's not... this is all straight line winds. This is all unidirectional. But you have a little hook there. So heading into Westminster, Maryland, and eventually maybe Manchester, you'll have something there. But right now, it looks like the stuff over southeast PA, or south central Pennsylvania, is not really, within this warning, is really not doing too much. But it could be a situation, again, where it's in between radars and it's not picking up on that wind speed very accurately. If I move to this one here and take a look at what we're dealing with here, we got a lot of, let's look at some 45s, some 50s, close to 50. I saw a couple spots there that were up here. You got low 40s, some 50s up there, okay, up by Lebanon. I'd be interested to see what my buddy at Lebanon County Weather, Justin Snyder, has for wind speeds up there. I'm sure he'll let me know. But yeah, there's definitely stuff along the line here. There's 40, some 50s in there, so some pretty strong gusts. But to be quite honest with you, I mean, we've had pretty strong winds all day. So this is you might not see much of a difference in some of these places at all. A little bit of rotation here near Hamburg, but no, it's very weak and broad. But you see a lot of these wind gusts that are along with this line here are in the 30s. Nothing really exciting to me. Not really. So again, they could be looking at something downstream and saying, hey, this might strengthen a little bit, and we're going to give it some leeway, just in case. Is Montgo in the clear? I wouldn't say you're in the clear. You're still going to get thunderstorms. Probably not severe, although, listen, every time I say that, I don't issue the warnings. They might see something where they're issuing something. I wouldn't have issued one with this one in Berks right now. I don't see anything in Berks that would be really exciting to me. A little bit of rotation here near Burnville, though. Weak, but it's there. But Montgomery County's over here. These are going to run into a brick wall right around Montgomery. So you might have some initially, Ken, and then you might get those storms. And you're probably most likely going to be like, well, that was lackluster. Okay. Northwest Berks never disappoints. Yeah, that's what is it about that? I know it's really flat out here, out by Strausstown and Burnville and that area. Must be something with the topography. But you still got some wind gusts here that are close to 50 miles per hour in a couple spots here. Look at that. See? There's a couple spots there. It's not everywhere. And they're most of this area, I'll tell you right now, most of this area that they're warning is not going to see severe weather. But there are a couple spots that could get it. A couple spots within there. So it'll be a situation where one town has severe weather, next town over, nothing. So that's that. So I got about 15 minutes left here on the stream. I'm going to continue this until we get off. We're just focus on the radar. It looks like the guys on Twitter are done. Let me see if I have anything from Twitter that is interesting as far as damage. Probably not, because we're not seeing too much. I do have a, this is Josh Bingham, that I'm going to put his image that he sent me up. This is a look at the low-level clouds out ahead of this this line. You're not seeing a squall line just yet, but he may be able to pick up that soon. He's in northwestern Lehigh County. So this is before the severe thunderstorm warning. It looks pretty stable to me right now. I don't see anything exciting there to me. So, but that's expected. Again, our area doesn't have a lot of our area really doesn't have a lot of instability compared to areas in central PA that had it earlier. They had a little bit of sun come out that helped a little bit. Further east here, you've been stuck in the clouds for most of the day. Maybe a little few peaks here and there. Is Monroe County in the clear? Yes, I think so. Again, I can't assume the National Weather Service is not going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for some of these areas further downstream. I'm not seeing a lot of support for that right now. But again, I'm not the one that issues the warning, so I can't make that decision. That's their decision. And they will handle that. But I'm going to take a closer look at that right now. So, Monroe County, you know what? I would say, forget that I said no. I would say Pike County, you're out of it. Monroe, yeah, you're probably good. The southern part of Monroe, you might get clipped a little bit by some stronger winds that are getting in the 40s. But areas further, you're looking at this point, you're looking at Northampton, maybe getting into it. It might be too far east, though. But Lehigh and Berks are in the immediate threat. These areas across south central PA from Lancaster over to Millersville, Elizabethtown, there's something there, but there's just not a lot of wind with this. I mean, there's some 40 mile per hour gusts, 40 to 50s yet, so that's still strong enough. Northampton County is still at risk, but they are not currently under severe thunderstorm warning. It's just, well, actually, I'm sorry, they are. The far western portions of, not including Bethlehem, but the far western portions of Northampton County, so that'd be places like Cherryville, Northampton. Actually, Bethlehem is included in that. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Bethlehem and Fountain Hill are in the severe thunderstorm warning. Butstown's in there. Get some of these smaller towns in there. Howardtown's in there. You have some places in Northampton County that are under the current warning. All of Lehigh, I believe, is in it. No, not all of Lehigh. Center Valley is not. As far southern is not. Okay? At least not yet. Most of Berks is included in this. So they already cut it off. Schuylkill didn't really get too much today. I'm not sure why they had this up here in Jim Thorpe. It doesn't really look too exciting to me up there. And they're just about done anyway. Lehighton and Palmerton, you're getting that next. Perryville, you're going to get that right now. And then it's going to shift over to, again, Monroe County's mostly out of it. Far southern, you might get a little bit in that. But again, these winds that I'm seeing with these, they're not really overly strong. If I look at the velocities on these, you're seeing a lot of wind speeds here that are generally in the 30s to mid 40s, so 35 to 45. Again, 35 to 45 can still do damage. It's going to be doing minor damage. It's not going to rip the siding off your house unless it was already ripped to begin with. But it is going to, small susceptible branches can be dropped in your yard, things like that. For weaker trees, especially if you have a willow tree. God, don't ever get a willow tree. I had one taken down last year that was, every time you had a 30 mile per hour wind, it looked like an absolute disaster. Like a tornado ripped through my yard. I have dead ash trees I have to get down next. Still a little bit of rotation in here near North Heidelberg Township, Burnville, in western Berks County, but this is not anything exciting to me. It's very broad and weak rotation, so not enough to be a tornado concern. Seeing what we've had so far today with better looking rotation and not producing, I would think it's going to take more than that to produce a tornado at this point. You're going to need a lot more tighter of a couplet there, and that's not tight at all. Not at all. A little tighter north of Burnville, but that's about it. So this is that area moving in right here. So you got this squall line to move through. I'm expecting gusty winds, 35 to 45 miles per hour, isolated higher than that. I know the warning here says up to 60. That might be a little bit of a stretch. But do heed the National Weather Service warnings. I am not the person that issues these warnings. They have good reason for whether it be they're thinking that it may increase a little bit downstream or not is irrelevant. They issued it, so follow it. Please heed their warnings. Okay, I'm just giving you my opinion. My opinion is that I think most of these wind gusts are going to be 35 to 45. You might have some isolated higher than that, but most of the 60 stuff is not going to be found. Now, again, you're going to run into a brick wall here because you're losing instability, as shown here. The instability just cuts off and hits a brick wall where you go from a little to none at all, right here. See that? As soon as you hit the Delaware River, there's like no instability at all. You're getting that southerly flow out ahead of it. It's getting some instability, but even the instability amounts here are kind of negligible. You're about 250 joules, so that's really not enough to really get these two severe levels. All right. So there is a lot of shear involved, a tremendous amount of shear, in fact. So the wind shear is what's really keeping these going as long as they are, or they would have already not have been, that big of a deal. So you're still getting, effective wind shear here is generally 50 to, you got 60 knot wind shear here, so that's plenty sufficient to keep them going at least. But again, this is not, overly exciting to me as far as producing a damaging wind threat. So I have about another 5 minutes or so on the call, or on the call. I'm so used to doing Zoom calls. So you'll be able to continue to follow this on the radar. I've been doing this since about 4 o'clock. I do want to, Northampton County still at risk. Yeah, I answered that. That is yes. Not under a severe thunderstorm warning, except for the far western portions of Northampton County, but there's still a risk there. I think you got about another hour there, and that'll be in and out of the Lehigh Valley. It'll come in and out, again, 40 to 45 wind speeds there. There it is, right there. So I want to try to do these live streams for days that are a lot more, have a lot better chance than today did. I didn't really think today was going to be like a it hits the fan day kind of day. I wasn't thinking that was going to be it today. But I want, this is the first time we're doing a severe weather live stream, so I wanted to make sure I had the kinks ironed out. I have a lot of kinks to work out, especially with our cameras. If you see next to me here in the video, we had Storm Chaser cameras set up, and then the Storm Chasers went offline, and I lost them. That's because they don't have a subscription to Zoom. So if they pay for that, I can even pay for it. I don't care. But that's it. So I'm going to take a couple questions if you have them, and then we're going to wrap this up. The expectations of this line, please heed the National Weather Service warnings and take them for what they are. These are both for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts for the current 2 warnings that are in Pennsylvania. But I'm not expecting this to be much more than, personally, 30 to 35 to 45 gusts as it moves through. It's with the first 15 minutes of the storm. It's going to be with the gust front, okay, and then it'll be in and out. And once that passes, the winds will die down. I know we had hours and hours of wind today, and you guys are sick of it. I know I'm sick of it because I had some things quite a bit of clutter to pick up in the yard. But I'm going to continue to do these in the future. It's going to be on shit hits the fan days. Hopefully, there's no kids on the stream. You shouldn't be on the stream. But anyway, if it's going to be a day that I know is going to be really, really bad, I'll continue to have the streams here, and we'll stay on as long as you can. But this is not, again, my expectations downstream from this is that it's going to continue to weaken with time. You might have some more robust looking cells like we have right now, but these should die pretty quickly as they move further east. I don't think it's going to get over in these areas here. So it is what it is. That was a good first test run. We're going to work out some of the kinks we had with the streaming. It wasn't too many, but it wasn't as fluid as Ryan Hall does it. I want to get better and better with these with time. He does them all the time, so he has a lot of practice. He has a support team. I don't. At least not here on Tampa. I do have a team, but they're not here. So I'm doing these all myself and trying to look at what's going on. Yes, I did miss dinner. I'm going to go eat dinner here very shortly before I head up to Kalahari. I'm taking. My wife took the kids up there already. But a couple areas of interest here. Over in this area, just east of Burnville, and heading up into northern Lehigh County. That's going to hit me very shortly, it looks like. So, Ryan, you're welcome. And we'll work out the kinks with the... I think it's something with the Zoom. You have to be subscribed to it. If I have to... Tell Shane if I have to pay for it, I'll pay for it. I don't care. Just so we can get you on the streams. Because it'll cut you off. That's what Zoom does. It'll cut you off, and it won't let you continue after like 20 minutes. So, Lowenbrow. Woo. Olivia has been watching and wants you to say hi. She was very interested. Hi, Livy. How are you? That's Ray's daughter. Beautiful little girl. She's a big into cheerleading. So she was just up to they were up at Kalahari last weekend, and for a cheer competition, I guess. And we're going up there just to have fun and spend a lot of money. So I'm heading up there now. Thank you all for joining the stream. Continue to follow the radar here over the next couple of hours. Again, I don't expect these to continue much farther east, but they may issue warnings further east. That is possible. And if they do, just please heed them. The severe thunderstorm watch is still in effect from what I understand further east as well. And I will check on that real quick before I go. Let's make sure it's still in effect. It is. Okay, so the severe thunderstorm watch over here is still in effect. So they have not dropped it yet. They're going to wait and see what happens with this line. But I think once it gets to Delaware River, we're going to see it kind of go, and that's it. Okay? So not much further. You guys in New Jersey, just keep an eye on it just in case. For southeastern Pennsylvania, keep an eye on this. Follow the warnings as they pop up on your phone. If you do get a warning, please heed it. But I expect mainly 35 to 45 with this line, and that's going to continue to go down as this continues to weaken. So again, thank you. Thank you so much for joining the stream. And I want to have future events with less kinks hopefully next time.